Welcome into the Cam and Strick Podcast, episode number 99. Can you think of one? Can you think of any?
You know what? I'm even going to go down. I'm going to dip down into not only NHL, which I can't find anybody.
Aaron Donald.
No, Aaron Donald doesn't count. He's not a
Judge,
good athlete.
who's the player for the Yankees?
Aaron
just
Judge
crushes bombs.
But I'm going to go down. I'm going to stick with hockey, and I'm going to go to the NHL. Can't find anybody in the NHL. Fine. Let's go to the minors. No one wears 99 in the minors. Wait, that's weird. Let's go down to AAA. Not one fucking kid.
No.
In AAA, Andy, and you know more than anybody.
You're wrong.
Wears what?
Oh, I've seen
No.
kids.
Time out. Here's what I'm talking
Other
about.
cities.
There's a kid. Listen to me. You could wear 87. You could wear 97.
66.
You could wear 60. Well, that's a little sketchy too, but I don't see many.
Ballsy too, man.
You could wear 88.
Remember Hosang?
You could wear 91.
Josh Hosang?
No, who gives a fuck about him? No idea who
he
he
wanted
is.
to wear 66. I think he
fucking
does.
sucks.
Maybe he switched it.
Is he still playing?
Well, he's like in and out with the Islanders.
I don't care about him. Here's the deal. Not one kid wears.
He's Vince Dunn's
listen
boy.
to me. Not one fucking kid wears 99. Not one.
Better not. What if it was your kid?
I'd kill him. No, I wouldn't kill him.
Oh my God!
So
you would
kick him in the ass.
You would say
no.
What if a kid? You're coaching a team and a kid wants to wear 99 and they're like 4 years old.
Here's my point. Yeah, 4 years old. Goddamn right. Here's my point. Wayne has such a stigma about him to where the kids can't even replicate what he did.
They can't even replicate.
Like even when I played AAA,
you can tuck your jersey in.
Yeah, fucking I did, motherfucker.
Put a little baby powder on
Get
the
my
stick.
fucking East. I don't give a fuck. But the point is, I never played even Honey Bake, Bell Tire, fucking all the big boys when I was cruising around. Not one of them wore 99.
No, of course not.
Not one.
And now the jersey is officially retired throughout the NHL. You can't even wear it if you wanted to.
AAA,
but nobody would wear it anyway. It's like the unwritten rule. You just don't do that.
Well, it's an unwritten. That's my point of it.
Amazing. Isn't that amazing? You're that good that nobody else can wear your number.
Not even the fucking kids wear your number. Out of respect,
he used to have the sickest aluminum stick. The silver aluminum stick. Everything was
I didn't like
flash.
his style as much.
No?
No.
Oh, dude, he had
Wayne?
the best style.
No, he didn't.
The mock turtleneck with the 99 on it.
I hated it, to be honest with you.
Really?
I hated good thing is he listening to this?
Probably.
Fuck. I love you. Here's the deal. I didn't like your Jaffa helmet. I didn't like the skates that much.
With the blue tux?
With the blue tux or the black ones?
Dude, everything he did was style. It was unbelievable, man.
I didn't. He's Wayne.
Easton gloves.
No, he's the long ones too, so he doesn't get whacked on the wrist. Remember those Easton GF, the GX 1500? I remember I used to beg my dad to give me the Easton gloves with the GX like 150s on them, so they're bigger, but we could only afford a GX 100, and I looked goofy. And I yelled at my dad for that. But the reason why I wanted it is because all the guys like Greta wore the big boys, and I couldn't afford it. But anyway, the point is, none of these kids are wearing 99. They're wearing 87 or 97, 66, not much. But it just shows you how different. In 68, they probably wear it, but they don't wear 99 or 66 that much.
You can wear some 68s, too. How about his rookie card? I meant to ask Wayne.
I forgot about that.
Do you have any extras laying around?
Yeah, sign that bad
that
boy.
are like $1.29 million? Like, do you have an extra one just laying around that I can sell?
Yeah, but here's the difference, Andy. Those cards have to be mocked perfectly.
Mint
condition. Or my bad.
Well, when you say mock, what does mock mean?
Means I'm going to mock you in the fucking head.
You mean mint condition.
Whatever.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Like perfect?
Here's the deal. They need to be perfect. So Greta could have a badass one, but it's chipped on the side. That mug's only worth like 100,000, homie. And we're so rich right now, it doesn't even matter. No, we're joking on that. But that's how devalued those cars can get if it's not mint.
No, it's got to be mint.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not getting 1 point. Listen, all y'all. Is that how you say it?
All y'all.
They're sitting around. They got their rookie Wayne Gretzky card. It's not mint.
Hey, isn't it weird?
You're not selling that for 1.29, although you might.
You might. If you got an OPG rookie card, you're fucking done.
I have one.
Dude, here, does anybody else go through this problem?
I have one.
Let me ask the audience. All y'all. I had so many fucking hockey cards when I was young. I had my Beckett's. I'd look up and like Pavel Bure, like, yay, $4.50.
Did you have the sticker books?
I had everything.
The sticker books?
I was a nerd. I was actually when I went to school, like I was like, honor class until my 9th grade.
Were you?
Yes. It's so weird. I asked my mom.
Why'd you quit school?
Because of hockey. I was playing juniors, man. I was fucking doing my thing.
I know, but you were so good at 8th and 9th grade. I thought maybe you could like continue.
If you think I don't.
All the kids out there, if you're good in school at 9th grade, don't quit.
I'm a go reader.
Keep going.
Here's the deal. I swear to God, I had had to sit down with my mom, and I go, I need to know when I started to become dumb. And she goes,
Amy?
oh, you're 9th grade. I go, why? She goes, well, because you started really playing hockey, and then you were confident, and you said, fuck the world. Oh. But before that, you were actually kind of smart. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about. But the point is, Wayne Gretzky's great. We had him on. The one question I would have asked him was like, remember the time, Andy? Remember the time? I think he was in New York, and he's the biggest big motherfucker in the world. And he's like, oh, my wife's here, and she's sitting by the glass. And then Ulf Samuelsson.
Why didn't you ask her about that?
Because
the puck hit poor Janet in the head, right?
So you're sitting there. You're the biggest superstar in the world. All the attention's on you. Everybody, the camera's on fucking Janet the whole fucking time. She's sitting right by the glass, which is kind of a no-no when your wife's doing that, which whatever. And the puck comes over and smacks her right in the head, and he's like this on the bench. He's like,
Are you
kidding me? Right, fucking. And he climbs over, just like
Hollywood
do. Just like Hollywood do.
Annoyed.
Just like Hollywood do when he had to serve a penalty for Mike Keenan, where you take a stick, like drag it on the ice, and he went over like, "Honey, you okay?" She's like, "I'm hurt." Like you're so big. And then like this episode happens where the puck comes over, hits your wife in the head. It's like,
check out that video. It's all over. You can find that on YouTube.
It's funny, man.
But and luckily she's okay.
He never got in
Shannon's
trouble.
like the nicest lady in the world.
Is she nice?
Oh, she's so
gotta
nice.
be, right?
And he's so nice. They're like the perfect people. I mean, they are so nice. You know what's interesting? Talking to Wayne in this interview, because you would think that when you have that level of fame, like you reach that level of recognition, where you can't go anywhere. Everyone knows who you are.
Yeah. Even a non-hockey.
And I know Jordan is probably even bigger than Wayne, but in reality, Wayne Gretzky, the name is the same as Michael Jordan. Everybody knows the name Wayne Gretzky. Hockey fan or not, doesn't even matter.
He doesn't have shoes.
Well,
to get to the billion
we need
part.
to get him some shoes.
Well, he doesn't have the shoes to get him to the billion part.
Well, maybe that's next.
You get my
no.
Here's a question.
I know, because the Air Jordans is what made Michael Jordan a billionaire.
So here's a question. Wayne, you're in the spotlight every fucking day. You're a humble human being. When did you ever get in trouble? Seriously. How can you not have a picture, although pictures...
He's never had a speeding ticket.
A speeding ticket? Anything. Like, you never had any controversy
that
was on you.
All your best questions are now, after the interview. I mean, why didn't you ask him that?
Why he didn't get in trouble? Like, I'm not going to ask him that.
Well,
or should I?
Well, you're asking me. I don't know.
Andy,
That's a pretty good question.
Fuck off. I got 50 fucking questions here I didn't ask him. We had to flow through the flow, homeboy.
We did.
I can't, like, if I would have asked him a goofy question, you would have called Caruso. You would have told me,
Listen, I got to give a shout out to Mike Caruso for hooking up this
do
interview.
that?
You know, for him to hook it up, man, and step up for us, man, we appreciate that.
It just shows he's a big dick.
Big time.
He's a big dick. No, he is.
Is that what you're calling
No,
him?
I'm going to say it. No, he always took care of me. He
Yeah.
gave me a lot
Yeah.
of shit.
Yeah.
But he always took care of me. And for him to be the guy, seriously, for Mike Caruso, to be like, no, I'll take care of you guys. And I'm like, okay, like he's going to take care of us.
Yeah, and he followed through, man, and he did it.
You fucking motherfucker.
He did it. And you know what?
I'm going to dress like a clown and go to his house and entertain everybody for a party.
For Wayne to do it, because Caruso asked him to do it too.
Fucking Mike.
There you go. So it's like,
so y'all know,
it's going full circle here. It's like Wayne will do it because Mike asked him to do it. Mike will hook us up, man. Yeah. So again, we got a great relationship, and this guy is
cool on his part,
does a lot of shit for me, so I appreciate that.
I'll dress like am I going to dress like the clown at his party? Or are you going
his bar mitzvah?
Are you going to do it?
I don't dress like a clown.
No, you don't.
Why would I dress like a clown?
No, you dress like a fucking fancy lad. Fucking fancy fucking lad. Hi, I'm fucking Ledoux.
Hey, people are sending that to me on Twitter, too.
Fancy lad, motherfucker. You are, though.
But you know what? That just shows they listen to
But here's
the
why
show.
I like you, though. You weren't when you were young.
No, I wasn't.
And you turned into a fucking tofu-eating fancy fucking lad, dude. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't listen to fucking hard 80s metal. You don't fucking do shit. Because
that's terrible. Who? No, seriously, who does that?
I'll give you another one, guys.
Who does that?
No, we're going to start doing this, by the way. Here's another fucking song I want you guys to listen to. It's this 90s Candlebox. I know you haven't listened to Candlebox in a while. Put on fucking Candlebox.
I know who Candlebox is.
No, you don't know shit. Candlebox U. It's fucking badass. It's old 90s. They faded.
Sounds fun.
They faded away. Actually, I'll give you a pump up. I don't want me to trip you that much because I certainly love to. But somebody texts me. They go, check out Bluegrass Cam. It ain't that bad.
Really?
And I'm like, motherfucker, I will.
Thank you. Oh, I'm
I
going to
will.
send you some good stuff,
Send
too.
me it.
Dude, you'd love it.
Look,
because I know when you say that, when you chirp it, you have no idea what it really is.
No, I do know that I'm from.
Just like
I'm from the motherfucking sticks, boy.
Yeah, but you're not playing the banjo, dude. You don't know what's up.
You?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Are you in Deliverance in the middle of Colorado River?
It's like
are you the fucking Deliverance
You don't
guy?
know the underground hip hop. You don't know the reggae.
Where am I from? Why the fuck?
House Springs.
Why the fuck would I know hip hop or reggae? Explain that to me. Go ahead.
Hey, but the good shit though.
No, I don't know any of it. I don't know any of it.
Hey, I gotta give a shout out to Ryan Miller. Just got.
Yeah, he did.
He just got.
Not the goalie.
No, not the goalie.
Yeah.
He just got the promotion. He's now assistant general manager. I think I told people that when Billy Armstrong left, I said, I bet you Ryan Miller gets the promotion. Some people said, no, that won't happen. Others said, oh, yeah, you might be right. Congrats to Ryan Miller. His nickname is Software. Remember Dougie Armstrong when Army was on with us? He calls him Software. He is our software. So Ryan Software too. Miller. And he listened to the podcast too, man. He loved it. Everyone loved listening to Doug Armstrong when he was on with us.
Oh, they loved it. No, he was fucking real and shit. Did his thing.
He was. They're like, how come he can't be like that with us? Well, that's up to you.
I want to know what
that's not up to Army, right? Am I right about that?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Like, why isn't he like that with us? Well, I don't know. You got to ask yourself that question.
Why don't you get him comfortable then, you idiot? You're fucking zooming him, asking him about, okay, the power play has this percent. He's like, go fuck yourself. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, shit, I got people fucking working on that. What the fuck do I answer that question for? When we talk to Doug, we talk to him like, what's up, man? Like,
talk about Bob Gainey.
What's up, baby? Like, how'd you do shit? And he's like, man, I'll have a beer. I'll do this. Like, what's up?
I know.
Like, I mean, there's just a big difference. I wouldn't mind. I'm glad we asked Wayne about like kind of like simple shit, but I kind of want to know his jam session. We always talk about jamming out. Like, what do you do? And we always talk
your chill zone.
Your fucking chill zone. You're away from the wife. You're away from the kids, or you're with the wife, or if that's your chill zone with the wife, or whatever the fuck it. I don't give a shit. How are you chilling? You're kicking your feet up. You have your wine. Like, what are you listening to?
Yeah.
Like, are you listening to Pink Floyd? Are you listening to fucking Bluegrass? Are you jamming out to fucking Tupac in '97 before he dies?
But you know the one thing though that stands out. And I don't want to say the obvious, but it doesn't always work out this way. People may think it does because he was a great hockey player, the greatest player in the history of the game, that he would just automatically just love the game. A lot of people get burned out on the game.
Fuck yeah.
A lot of people don't want to have anything to do with the game. They're done playing. They're given their entire life with it. They were really good, and then once their career's over, they made a shit ton of money, and now like they're nowhere to be found at a rink. This guy is always at a rink. He's always paying attention to what's going on. He focuses. He watches hockey. He's in tune with hockey. And I really respect that, man, because he's not afraid to admit that either. Some guys try to act like they don't ever watch hockey. They don't pay any attention to it, but then all of a sudden you catch them in a conversation where
they're
like
breaking
knows
down
everything.
fucking stats.
Like, I thought you don't watch it.
Stop it. Why are you cool because you don't watch hockey?
You're telling me about the Carolina-Florida game? Hey, listen, you should watch hockey. You do play in the NHL. You might want to know about the other players you're playing against every once in a while.
No shit. Exactly. So anyway, we did what we did with Wayne. He came on. He doesn't do any interviews, and we just fucking talked to him, man. And that's just the bottom line. And he was great. He was great. I thought he was happy at the end, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No, he enjoyed it.
Like, it's not with every other players that we'll fucking dig into, but like with Wayne, let's let him talk.
Could you imagine being 10 years old?
And being that good?
They're like calling you the great one. The entire city like knows who you are. You're holding like press conferences. Press events, media events.
No,
when you're like a young kid.
Again, here's the deal with Wayne too. When you go to a team and you're Wayne Gretzky, the whole team and situation and organization has to change. Not just they have to change in so many ways with your fucking rolling up to the goddamn hotel, your security,
hotels, all that.
Everything is changed because you have a megastar with you, and he's there, and you have to block out different things. Like I remember that, like even Marty Perdor was in that category, but he wasn't.
No.
Like he was and he wasn't. I know he's listening and he's going to listen to these, and that's fine. I love you, Marty. Hi.
No, he's in the category because he's a legendary hockey player.
He's in the category, but Wayne's
But no one's in Wayne's category.
But Wayne, couldn't go anywhere. And I wanted to know what celebrities he hung out with, too, by the way.
Well, again, why are you asking me all the questions that you could have asked him during the interview?
Well, did you ask that question? I'm
no,
sorry.
I didn't ask that one.
Well, which one? Were my questions better than yours?
That was on your list.
They
might have been. They
better not have been.
Can you still relate to Wayne?
How dumb are you? Andy, here, give me a statement of Andy real quick. Andy will say something to the effect of, he always brings me down because
that is not true.
I think I'm on a
Don't
high.
say that.
I always think, am I on a high horse all the time? I don't know. maybe I am, and you need to bring me down. My wife certainly does, and it's reasonable at that extent. Mm-hmm. But you asked me, okay, imagine if you're Wayne. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll imagine if I'm fucking Wayne.
I said, put yourself in his shoes.
What's the fucking difference? And then you asked me that, and I'm like, okay, here's what I like. I do so many fucking interviews. I do so many radio shows, and I love it when people ask me personal stuff. I do. Like, I get into it. Like,
yes.
You want to ask me about who's your favorite fighter? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
No, you want to talk about your shit.
So I'm comparing myself, just like you asked me to Wayne. So I go, here's what I like. And then he goes, Andy stops me. I'm on my way over here. I have a nice high going on, natural high. And I got a nice high coming on. Natural. I just got done with my radio show and had a good radio show, so I get a natural high from it. That's why I like to do radio, because it builds my endorphins up, so I have a natural high. Yeah. Not fucking, eating shit or whatever that gets you high. Anyway, the point is, he goes, why put yourself in his shoes? I'm like, okay, and I explain it. And he goes, hey, Cam, I love you. But you're not fucking Wayne Gretzky. I go, you just asked me?
That's a great line.
You fucking asked me, you fucking idiot.
Line.
No. I go, I know I'm not. He goes, no. And then he keeps going. He goes, Cam, I love you. You're my business partner, but you're not fucking Wayne. I go, you just asked me to fucking idiot.
Can I give my
Can I
give
my natural buzz is gone. Now I got to take something else to get the buzz back. You fucking.
Oh, so you lost your natural high.
Now I'm an addict again because of you. Stupid.
Don't blame me.
Fucking question.
I just said, hey, put yourself in Wayne's shoes, and you're like, I know exactly what it's like. I'm like, no, you don't.
No one's laughing at that because
you don't.
That's not what I said.
No, you don't. It is what you said.
No, dick boy, it's not. You put me in a situation, and then I answered it, and then you said, then you built me back down again. You fucking hit me with a jackhammer, like, get back down, son. Blah 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 blah. I hope you don't do it, Ty. I hope you don't do that with Ty.
I hope you don't do it with Ty. Because he ate a hamburger from Shake Shack.
Was it a real hamburger?
Yeah, real one.
Did you take the meat out?
No.
Is it just a bun and tomatoes?
He tore that apart.
Good. It was his first time eating meat. Now he's going to grow. For fuck's sakes.
Dude, he's so tall. Did you see the picture?
He looks so handsome.
The picture from his little holiday show?
Am I his godfather?
His little holiday show?
Am I his godfather?
He's like twice the size.
We'll
see how long this continues. We'll see how long this continues.
You're feeding him fucking grass and tofu every fucking day. The poor kid's like, I need energy, Daddy. Help me. Fuck.
All right, I want to announce something. Yeah. We're going to have like this campaign coming up in January where we're quitting, or Cam's quitting tobacco.
Oh, God, I have to, man.
So
my lips are tore up.
We're partnering up with Canna Dips. Check them out. They got an Instagram and all over the internet.
Explain it.
This is CBD infused pouches.
Yeah.
They come in all different flavors. They've got like a citrus flavor. They've got like a winter, like a winter fresh flavor.
Wintergreen, Andy.
Wintergreen.
I'll explain it. So whenever you're a chewer, I'll explain.
They've got an American spice flavor.
I'll take over. Thank you very much.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll let the addict do it. Okay. Okay. I am addicted to fucking Grizzly like no other. Grizzly gets stuck in my teeth.
Which is the worst stuff you can have.
No, it's not. Kodiak's the worst. Thank you. I'll take over.
Kodiak's worse than Grizzly.
Go climb in your fucking hole. Let the fucking big boys talk. You don't know shit about this. When you take fucking Kodiak and you have all that, it eats your gums away more than anything. Sometimes there's plastic in there, and they cut it up in Kodiak, and it eats away so bad. So
it's like fiberglass.
Fiberglass, I should say. You're right.
Hey, thank you. Hey, who doesn't know?
Oh, did I tell you that earlier?
No, you didn't tell me that.
Who'd you talk to? The fancy boys in Ladue?
No, but like that's what's in cigarettes too. Is fiberglass.
Yeah, cigarettes,
especially the menthols, man. Those are the worst things for you.
Cools and all
that.
They
create like a glass coating around like your lungs and shit.
You should
not do that.
Thanks, Dr. Fauci. Here's the deal. I need to get off those things. They get stuck in my teeth. They ruin your teeth.
It's a disgusting habit.
And so these pouches, though, you take them, like you feel kind of good and mellow you out a little bit. They give you a sensation.
There's no THC in there, just so people know.
That's down the road, too. So if you want that, it's fine. But if you don't, you don't. So that's down the road, okay? So there's never no THC in anything. But that's down the road.
Except there's no THC in any of these.
But there can be, I'm sure, eventually.
Well, there's not.
Well, there can be eventually. The point is, these do satisfy you. I got off of Kodiak Wintergreen, which is the most horrific thing in the world for years, guys, and it costs a lot of money.
And it was destroying your mouth.
Fucking my mouth.
Tell them what it was doing to your lip.
Oh, my lip's like...
You almost had like a hole in your lip, eh?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it was getting bad. Okay, so
Kodiak... so how do you feel when you do these?
They're good. They're good, okay? They give you a little sensation. They give you a little bit of a that just like relaxation mode, and that's what you want. So if you're trying to quit anything, you can't just go cold turkey. Although I've done that before too. It's the most miserable thing, especially if you have to perform or work or whatever. These are a great
substitute, man,
for the fucking hardcore shit, guys. Listen to me.
It's not gonna.
It's the great
destroy your lip and your body and your health.
Exactly.
This is a healthy alternative.
Your breath smells better. Everything. So when you bring up wintergreen, what I was going to say is like wintergreen's a big like thing that you do when you're hardcore. So they have those flavors. A lot of people don't like citrus, but they have everything, right? Okay.
So if you want to have it resemble the real thing, then they have flavors
Thank
like
you.
that.
That's where you're good at, Andy.
If you want to just like have it like it's candy and it tastes good.
It depends on where you're at with your addiction.
Then you can put a little bit of citrus up in there.
No doubt.
Okay?
So it depends on where you're at with your addiction. But I'm telling you right now, guys, I'm fucking neck deep in shit, dudes. And this shit helps.
Okay, well we're gonna be digging deep into this, and we'll continue to let you know more.
I know all you
what's going on about it.
Yeah.
But we'll start January 1st. We're starting this campaign, man. We're gonna get Cam off a chew, and more importantly, all of you listening, all y'all,
man. We're
gonna get you off a chew too. So join the, get involved with us. Be a part of it with us. Get your candidates, your CBD infused pouches. It comes in a little canister. You can put it in your back pocket. Still looks like you got some chew.
They know
that.
Andy,
all right?
they know that. Okay. The only reason why Andy chews now is so he looks cool around me. That's the only
I don't chew.
reason.
I don't chew.
Oh, okay.
I use CBD infused pouches. Whatever. I got the American Spice. 15 CBD infused pouches per canister.
Here's
so that'll last you for a little while.
Andy like flaunts it, and then when he goes to the wealthy part of Ladue, he like hides. He doesn't even put it in his pocket, so one of his rich neighbors look at him like, I don't like Andy anymore because he fucking shits. We're in the fucking wealthy part of fucking Ladue, so don't fucking be your fucking self, pussy boy.
What are you talking about?
Don't cater your nerdy neighbors.
Dude, I don't chew tobacco. I don't chew tobacco. Except when Steiner gave me those pouches that you don't have to spit out that one time. Those weren't bad. What
you will hide those walking in your house, dude, because your neighbors will judge you.
Oh, I'll chew on these all day long.
Your neighbors will judge you because you're in a wealthy part of Ladue, and that's just the bottom line. And you worry about it. You're afraid you're gonna get kicked out of fucking Ladue. You're not. You're fine, dude. You're with me.
Listen to you.
You're with me. You're fine.
How about Wayne Gretzky when he talks about what his favorite record is? Did you expect him to say that particular record?
I thought 92 would be it, dude.
Yeah.
I thought 92 would be
I don't think anyone gets 92.
Fuck no. I think somebody can get hot.
Although some kid who's like 9 years old right now.
Well, here's the bitch of it, though. Like, it's the grind of the season. So I feel like if you're going to go hot, you go hot for 4 months, and you could possibly get 39 and 50 or 50 and 39. But to get 92 and 82 throughout that whole process is the more difficult thing, in my opinion. Well, what do I know? I had fucking 6 goals in fucking 350 games.
Isn't that amazing?
Embarrassing.
Wayne had 8 and 18 for the Blues. You had 6.
I dominated when he dominated when we were young. It is called. We're the same, and we both can't fucking dig ditches and shit. So we're the same on that. I can integrate myself with Wayne more than you can.
That's not true.
That's so true.
That's not true.
That's what do you guys have in common? I can't dig a ditch. Well, you can't either.
Golf.
You suck at golf too, don't we? We both suck. Okay, we're all friends, right? We're all like fucking related.
He hates fishing. I hate fishing.
I hate fishing. I got no time. I got no patience to put a fucking cat. I don't want to touch an animal and I'm hurting them with like stuff. Yeah. Not that I don't like when you kill tigers and lion. If you fucking time out. If you kill a lion,
you don't
when
like
he's
that.
just laying under a fucking, I'll fuck you up. Like I want to fucking
and then post a picture of it.
Post like, look, he was laying with his
wrapped
pride
around your back.
He was laying with his pride, doing nothing, and I shot him fucking dead.
Damn.
I don't know if I
think it's like a felony.
I think that's
it's a criminal offense in some countries.
I don't like you. If you kill a bear and you have to kill a bear, fine. But even if you kill a grizzly bear too, I'm like, why do that for sporting? Are they overpopulated? I don't think so.
I don't know, man. But
you kill that precious animal.
A bear comes near me.
No.
Or my kids.
Andy,
you got to get shot.
Andy, you don't even know how to shoot a fucking gun.
I'm like, honey, get the gun out,
honey,
please shoot.
Help us, honey. What are we doing? This bear's coming at me. Give him some money. Give me your credit card, honey. What the fuck?
You pay him off.
Pay him off. You'd be like, oh, thank you. Listen. If a bear's coming at you, you got to do what you got to do. Your fucking kid ties there, you're fucking donezo.
That's right.
Although you can't even fucking shoot a gun.
And Chloe and Ivy, don't forget that.
Well, no shit. Anybody there. I don't know. Here's the point. If you're killing bears for sport, I don't know if I like that. Mm-hmm. And that's a hot take. I know a lot of these Canadian...
Who's doing that?
A lot of Canadian boys might be like, Cam, we do this for that. But I'm like, I don't know. They're just so precious and majestic. Stop killing elk. There are millions. Majestic. That's a good word.
Oh, yeah. Back when I used to live up in the mountains, we used to get herds of elk in my backyard every day.
Elk's really good to eat, by the way. Joe Rogan talks about
elk
that.
Jerky,
really good.
Elk jerky.
So good. But elk, they're overpopulated.
Deer jerky is very common in the Middle West, up where we're at. People eat deer jerky. When I was in Alaska, they were eating bison like it was going out of style.
Good. Bison's good. Okay, can I give it one thing before we go to Wayne?
You wouldn't be able to handle it in Alaska.
I live in Eureka.
With the horned sheep, where I was,
no one's listening to you. Alaska. I live in Eureka, Missouri. Mm-hmm. I'm a hillbilly. My neighbors are hillbillies. When deer season comes, they drop off so much fucking meat at my house.
I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't eat it.
They bang on my door, and I'm like, "Hi," and they're like, "Cam, I got deer meat for you." I'm like, "Fuck!" Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want it. It bleeds in my fridge. Yeah. I keep it there for a month, and I'm like, what the fuck stinks in my fridge? It's your fucking deer meat.
You'd rather go to Walmart and get your steaks or whatever you got last time from Walmart?
Oh, fucking shittiest of all shitty.
Tastes like concrete?
I'd rather have that than fucking deer meat. Don't stop by my house. You could wave. I might military crawl back to my room.
This guy's at Walmart buying his steaks.
I did it because Kate had to get Christmas decorations. And God damn you, Andy. And I got a prime rib, and I fucked it up. And then I blamed it on being from Walmart.
Well, hey.
Don't send me deer meat. I don't like it.
All right. Let's get to the interview. Episode number 99 with Wayne Gretzky, the great one. Started calling him that when he was like 10 years old. Yeah. Unbelievable. You know who else is great? Think about the great one?
Who?
We got so many great ones. Whether it's Dan Bellman, Bud Light Seltzer, also CarShield and CarShield.com.
Big time.
They are great. Write down this phone number. 800-857-2481. Go to carshield.com. Structure the plan the way that you want it.
Yeah, dude.
You want a long-term plan? You can have a long-term one. Short-term? Keep it short. Long or short, it's up to you. And it's very affordable. Don't get stuck with the bill. Don't have the computer go out in your car. The engine goes out. All of a sudden, Johnny gets Christmas or he gets no Christmas because I got to fix my car. I got to fix my car. Not if you have your protection through CarShield. No better stocking stuffer out there than a little membership here with CarShield and CarShield.com. Again, mention the promo code CAM. You're going to save 10%. 800-857-2481. How about Bud Light Seltzer? Now, we talked about it the other day.
What's up?
You're going to the holiday parties in a normal year.
Yeah.
This year you're going to holiday parties.
Still.
Yeah, under 10, under 12, whatever it is.
That's fine.
Right. And when you see Bud Light Seltzer at the party, when you walk in, you see a little seltzer, you see the lemon lime, you see a little bit of black cherry, strawberry, mango.
Mango. If I walk in that motherfucker and I'm like, what's up, everybody? Fucking play some fucking Pearl Jam or some Pantera. And everybody's like, what's up, Cam?
Dude,
Fuck yeah, let's go.
They're playing Christmas music,
They'll tell them when I tell them to play. And then I walk in there and I'm like, oh, my God, you got Bud Light Seltzer?
They must be wealthy.
You're fucking wealthy. Are you from Andy's neighborhood? And they're like, no, we're fucking blue collar because Bud Light Seltzer doesn't even cost so much money. I'm like, oh, fucking right. I thought you were wealthy, but you don't even have to be. I love all y'all. And then you can make mixed drinks with the bad boys.
Yeah, you can. I mean, and we'll give those away coming up soon, our holiday cocktails.
Yeah.
But what about the women? What are they saying to their husbands?
I don't know anything about women.
No, they walk in with their husbands, and they're like, you never have Bud Light Seltzer.
They're like, why does Cam have Bud Light?
My husband's such a nerd. I want to be with him because he's got Bud Light Seltzer.
And his hot wife at the same time.
That's right.
Very bizarre.
I'm not with him. I'm actually by myself.
I went with Cam, Kate, and the Bud Light Seltzers because my husband can't afford it, which is very cheap. The fuck? It's an excuse.
All he does
is being a bitch.
Golf. He's never home.
Exactly.
He never brings me Bud Light Seltzer.
He drinks it by himself, but he doesn't bring it home to the wife.
No, he travels. He travels for work.
Okay.
Always gone.
Anyway.
Never has any Bud Light Seltzer. You can get yours. You can get it delivered too. BudLight.com. Less than a gram of sugar, 100 calories, 5% alcohol too. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Bud Light Seltzer.
Yeah.
All right. Keep it handsome too. KeepItHandsome.com and fight the ugly. That's what we're doing. And what is the ugly?
Fucking bullies, man. You fight the bullies. You do. I've gotten bullied, got pissed on when I was young. I like it now, but I didn't like it back then. But the point is, I stick up for myself.
When did you start liking it? Was it
in 2008 when I was really fucked up on shit? But the point is, I had to fight this guy. I got pissed on. I went home. My dad's like, "What the fuck?" I go, "All right." I went toe to toe with him. Became buddies with the guy.
You went toe to toe with the guy Raven.
He was like he's probably like 26 at the time, and I was 12.
And he peed on you.
He pissed all over my fucking my everything. It was very bizarre. And then I came home and I'm like, "Dad, I got pissed on." He goes, "What? What?" My mom's like, "Danny, stop! What happened to you?" I got peed on.
So he told you to go to school the next day and confront Raven, right?
He goes, "You stick up for yourself. Don't ever let that happen to you. You fucking stick up for yourself." I'm like, "Okay." And I went fucking toe to toe the next day, motherfucker. Toe to toe with this big motherfucker. Then we sat down in the principal's office next to each other. Principal wasn't there, and he comes in and he goes, "You shouldn't be sitting next to each other." I'm like, "We're friends now. We fucking beat the shit out of each other." Then we got 10 games.
Yeah. And then you became
buddies. My parents
really
invited him.
So that's the key. So again,
Fed
proceeds from the Fight Ugly hoodies go back to the Montreal Resource Center. We're fighting the ugly. We're fighting the bullies. All the ugly that exists.
Yeah, dude.
All the ugly. We're fighting it.
Yeah.
KeepItHandsome.com.
And we got clothes coming out.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. But check out their hair products. Check out the beard moisturizer.
Sick tough, baby.
If you want your girl on Christmas Eve to be like, "What's that smell? Is it the Christmas cookies or is it your hair?
When you smell
is
your
it
wife's
your face?
hair, when you smell your wife's
something's different about you,
Andy, you got dime. When you smell your wife's hair and you're like, "Oh my God, I want this." Like it turns you on.
Yes.
I smell my wife. She smells awesome all the time. I don't know why. Why is she perfect or something? Why do I smell like fucking dog shit?
Well, now she's smelling you.
But then she smells my hair after I get out. She's like, "Oh my God, I want that penis." I'm like, "Oh, fine, whatever." I got fine. You want to now?
Yeah.
Let's go. The point is, you smell good. You smell handsome. Finally.
Is that what she really says?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm like, "Oh yeah."
That's amazing. That could happen to you at home too. You just never know.
fucking-
Put some Keep It Handsome hair products in your hair. Use that beard moisturizer and make sure you smell good in time for the holidays.
Yes, and it raised money for fucking anti-bullying.
And that's what we're doing.
Fuck?
It's
Get
for a great
laid
cause.
And then raise money.
I know.
Get on
It
yourself.
really is unbelievable.
Get on.
You know who else is unbelievable?
Who?
Dan Bellman. Bellman.com.
Fucking A.
BEHLMANN.com. You know, he's a Gretzky fan. Probably used to hang out with him back in the day when Gretzky was here in town. Hey, check out all their cars on both sides of the street in Troy, Missouri. The Cadillac, the Buick, the GMC. Cam's looking at the Buick Enclave. He's really interested in that with captain seats, the pearl white one. So we'll see if he can get that in time for the new year. You never know. Also on the other side, you got the Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. So they got everything covered for you on both sides of the street in Troy, Missouri. Dan Bellman, OG when it comes to being a hockey guy. He's an original here in St. Louis, been supporting hockey for a long time, and we appreciate the support he gives us here on the Cam and Strick Podcast. And if you got a used car, old car, sitting in your garage, you're like, "What do I do with this?" They want it. They'll buy it from you. They'll pay you good money for it, and you'll drive off in a new set of wheels. Thanks to our good buddy Dan Bellman over there at Bellman.com. All right, the interview you've been waiting for, episode number 99. Who else other than the great one, Wayne Gretzky, with us right here on the Cam and Strick Podcast.
Hello, it's Wayne.
Hey there, Wayne.
Wayne who?
We've never heard of you.
The Wayne who? How you doing, bud?
How are you? I'm
Doing good. So where are you at nowadays? Where are you? Are you in St. Louis? You out in on the East Coast? Where are you hanging out now?
Well, I haven't been back in California for a long time. I've been Augusta and then Florida, and we've been in Florida since the end of Augusta. So it's nice down here. I'm playing a little bit of golf and nice weather.
We're at in Florida, and are you a great golfer? I mean, do you go out there and shave strokes? Are you very into it? Like, how's your golf game?
Well, first of all, I love it. I enjoy playing. But I think people would be shocked or surprised that how little I worry about it. I'm probably the exact opposite of some other athletes that they say are competitive and they have their juices flowing and all that goes with it. But I just play for fun. I really, if I make par, great. If I make double bogey, it's not going to change my life. But I enjoy playing, but I don't get competitive whatsoever.
Don't you hate when you play with guys that are competitive, though, Wayne? And maybe you want to play music, and they give you that look before they tee off, and you're like, "Oh, sorry, I'll turn it down."
Can you please stop walking behind me, please?
Stop breathing by me. Do you hate playing with guys like that?
No, I don't worry about that because I kind of look at them and say, you know what? There's nothing you're going to make me do that's going to sort of change my mindset. It's kind of like I don't like roller coasters, and I don't enjoy like big rides. And people over the years have tried to intimidate me, embarrass me into doing it, but that's not going to happen. Same as golf. If they want to be serious, good for them. I'm not that way.
No, man. I hate roller coasters too. You're not going to get me to go on a roller coaster either. But when you're playing with DJ, and listen, man, I mean, congrats to him and your family. Look like you guys had so much fun celebrating the Masters victory, and I want to get into that. But when you're playing with him, you don't get nervous a little bit, like, because you don't want to bring him down, right? I mean, in terms of, him playing, like, does he really try when he's playing with you?
Well, listen, he right now, obviously, he's the best golfer in the world. So even when he's playing for fun, he's still the best player out there. But he's like I am, I guess, in the sense that when he's playing with a bunch of friends, bunch of buddies, he just plays and he has fun. He enjoys it. He doesn't worry too much about it. No, he's pretty relaxed in that sense.
Could you imagine, Wayne, when you're playing in the NHL, like going out and playing hockey for fun? Like your friends want to go play hockey with you. Like it's amazing that golfers, who are the best in the world, and there's no doubt DJ is right now, that they can still have the energy and the want to go out there and play when they're not competing professionally. It's amazing that they can do that,
Well, one of my great golf stories is that when he lost Chambers Bay to Jordan Spieth, we all went to Idaho for 3 weeks, and he played every single day for 21 days. And I said right then and there, he's got a special love for the game. He's going to be he's going to win a championship one day. And of course, he won the U.S. Open next year, and now the FedEx, and now the Masters. But I said to some friends, if I would have lost Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Final, there's no way I was going to go play pickup hockey with a bunch of my buddies. That just wouldn't be in the cards. But he does. He loves it. And I think, his work ethic and his dedication to the sport and his passion for the game itself is coming through now, and you can see it clearly. Just he loves to play.
Yeah, man. And like I said, I mean, it looked like you guys were having so much fun. Paint the picture, Wayne. You're on the plane after you win the Masters. I don't know who else is on there with you. I'm sure your daughter Paulina is there. Maybe your grandkids. Maybe Janet's on the plane. But how much fun did you guys have? I read that you guys went to the Caribbean. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but wherever you guys went to celebrate and party, how much fun was that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I said on the plane, it was sort of a dream come true for me in the sense that I never won a Stanley Cup on the road. So I never got that flight home with all the guys and just the players. So when we were flying home from Augusta, I said to him, I got really lucky in my lifetime that now we're able to be part of this. And it was his brother, his caddy, and Paulina and the boys, and my wife and Chloe Harmon, his fitness trainer, Joey. It was pretty quiet flight. I think that, like winning the Stanley Cup, you're so mentally and physically exhausted. By the time he got on the plane, he was a little bit tired, but we still had fun. And then as far as the Caribbean goes, that's what grandparents are for. We stayed here to take care of the two little ones, the two boys, and they all went to the Caribbean, and we stayed behind. So the grandparents don't get the extracurriculars. We don't get that invite.
And I know you wanted to go too, Wayne, didn't you? God. You're like, hey, can I just go?
Oh, I'm a grandparent.
Janet's got the kids.
So when you are at home though, Wayne, like are you a handyman? Like if things go, say if there's something need to happen around the house, can you fix it? Are you one-dimensional like I am? Although I wasn't a very good hockey player. Explain that.
I am the absolute worst. I have no idea what I'm doing. As soon as I open the door, it's really kind of embarrassing because I'm really illiterate, if there's a lack of a better word. It's not my thing. I just never been good at it. I'm the guy that when you're putting the TV in, you tell the guy, look, I just want an on-off button. Not 4 remotes, not 3 remotes. I just want one remote, turn the TV on and turn the TV off. That's about as handy as I get around the house.
That's how I know. Well, I'm like that too, though.
Well, we know Andy.
I can't do anything.
We know Andy. But Wayne, what about cooking? Are you a barbecuer? Can you make a meal up? Like, are you into that at least?
I can make bacon and eggs.
Cam can't do that.
I was gonna say I'd struggle with those.
If there's a barbecue grilling, yeah, I wouldn't embarrass myself by putting burgers and steaks on, but that's about the limit of it. By no means can I make deviled eggs to go with it. Listen, my life was hockey. That's really what I knew. So I'd have to say that I'm pretty porous as far as all that other stuff goes. I'm not good at it. Listen, I'll spend all day with my grandboys or my kids. That's no problem. But to ask me to cook or clean or sew or be a handyman around the house, that's not me. No question.
Dig a ditch, it ain't happening.
No. The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield. Nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and right off the bat, you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now back to the interview. Did it ever get to a point, though, in your career, though, Wayne, where you got sick of hockey? You didn't want to go to the rink. You didn't want to play. Like, you had accomplished so much where the game just became secondary and you wanted to have fun and do other things. Did it get to that point even prior to you retiring?
No, it never did. We had a friend of ours down here had a birthday Saturday night, and myself and my son and Chris Chelios, we went for dinner. There was about 5 of us, and both Chris and I sitting there said the same thing, that I loved every minute of hockey, everything about it, the travel, the team camaraderie, the practices, the big wins, sometimes the tough losses. And somebody that night asked me, do you miss it? And I said, yeah, I miss it every day. I wish I could still play. But I think I was smart enough to realize at the time, the year I retired, I scored 9 goals. And everybody said, you can play one more year. And I remember saying, 9 goals, that used to be a good weekend. I think it's time for me to retire.
Speaking of 9 goals.
So I moved on.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. And speaking of 9 goals, like when you were young, I know you're playing up 4 years, probably 2 or 3, even at that age when you're very, very young, moving up 1 year is so significant. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Uh-huh. But you were scoring 9 a game. Like, you were so dominant. Were the parents pissed at you? Like, whenever you faced another team at that age, when you were on your game, like, you got to, and you know how hockey parents are crazy as it is, Wayne. You know how that goes. I mean, was it just like, was it overwhelming? The parents, they must have been so mad that they know they're going to go out there and just get lit up because you have the puck the whole damn game. Like, how was that whole situation?
Yeah, parents had a tendency to be a little bit tougher than the kids. As a parent now, I understand. You want your kids to not get embarrassed. You want your son to do well. You want your daughter to play well. I understand that now. Looking back at it, though, when I was 10, I was just playing for fun. I just went out there. My dad has a charity youth hockey tournament every year in my hometown, and he goes to the arena on December 26th from 8 in the morning till 9 at night for 4 straight days. And a couple of years ago, I got home, and he wasn't feeling great, So I told him, look, stay here. I'll go over to the arena for a few hours for you. So I went over and I got there. One of the coaches said, hey, listen, I got an 8-year-old team. Will you come and talk to my boys before the game? And I said, you know what? I'm probably the wrong guy. And they said, no, come on in. Just say whatever you want to say for a few words. And I said to the guy, look, I'm not kidding you. I'm the wrong guy for that. He goes, no, I insist. So I walked in the locker room, said hello to the boys. And I said, now remember, you're 8 years old. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's how many goals you get. And the coach looked at me, and I thought he was going to have a heart attack. And I said to him, I told you I was the wrong guy for this this job. That's how I feel about kids hockey, kids sports. Just go have fun. Just go play. Winning and losing doesn't matter when you're 8, 9, 10. You're not gonna remember it when you get older. It's all about having fun and getting better and enjoying the game. And that's the way I always looked at it.
Yeah, and that's the best way to look at it. And unfortunately, a lot of the coaches are the ones that are tracking the wins and losses and you know how it reflects on them. But you scored almost 400 goals or something. It was like 378 goals or something like that, Wayne. Like, how many games were on the schedule? And, like, how many goals were you scoring a game? Like, why do you think hockey was that easy for you that you could score 378 goals? Like, who finished second in the league? How many goals did they have?
What other pro guy was on there?
Well, I will tell you this. My dad got a picture of my very first goal. I was 6 years old on that 10-year-old team because I played 5 years on it. And I was showing my boys one day. And I actually scored my only goal that year. And I didn't play a whole lot. I was a third-line center. I was 6. I didn't get a lot of ice time, especially in bigger games. But that was okay. I practiced with him. I got better. And he got a picture of my first goal. And I was showing my boys one day a couple of years ago the picture that my dad took, which is pretty incredible. He was right behind me. And you see the puck going over the goalie's glove. And I didn't even notice it. My boys were like, well, no wonder he scored so many goals. That goalie doesn't even have a mask on. I said, well, maybe that's why he scored all those goals. Goalies didn't wear masks back then. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
So the game has changed. You know, the athletes are better today, and, you know, the equipment's better. And, you know, it's still the game itself. It's still the greatest game in the world, and I love watching it. I wish I could still play. I'm just not good enough to be able to do it anymore.
Neither is Andy.
Was your childhood fun, though, Wayne? Like when did you first realize, like, you're different than everybody else? Whether you want to admit it or not, like, you're different. You're scoring 378 goals. People are calling you the great one at 10 years old, Wayne. Like, it's just crazy. How did you handle that at such a young age?
Oh, you know, it was a big world back then, right? And so my dad always told me, no matter how good you think you are, there's somebody out there that's better than you. So it was every game you sort of proving yourself, right? And I just tried to be a normal teammate. I love baseball, lacrosse, ice hockey. But I think that it probably kicked in for me that I was going to pursue this game at a higher level. In 78, I played on the World, or 77, I played on the World Junior Team Canada team at 16, and I played with all the best players in the world and against all the best players in the world. And that was the time I said, you know what, I'm going to pursue this. Hopefully one day hockey is going to be my life. But when I went back to school after that tournament, my dad still called every second day to make sure I didn't miss a class. He was very adamant that I was going to stay in school. And even though you're playing junior hockey, for people who don't know, it can be difficult, especially where I played, Sault Ste. Marie, where we had the most travel of any team in the league.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes, you know, getting back at 3 a.m. and having to get up at 7:30 for school and then practicing again at 4. Some days are tiring, but, you know, that was the way it was, right? And if you want to make it, that's what you got to do.
Oh, I remember going to Sault Ste. Marie, Wayne, and pulling up, and they'd open that like garage door, and we'd get our dress. Oh God, we get dressed, and everything's freezing cold there, but it wakes you up, and you learn how to figure it out. But I wanted to ask you though, like for all these like young kids and kids playing hockey, like what did you work on? Like so when you knew that you were good, you're like, okay, I'm very elusive. I can get away from guys, but did you work on something specific? They're like, I'm going to do this, and then maybe next week I'm going to do this. Like, what was your regimen at that age?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I was lucky. I met my idol, Gordie Howe. And sometimes when you meet your idol, you go, oh, it was okay. It was, maybe it wasn't as good. I met Gordie Howe. He was better and bigger and nicer than ever could have imagined. And Gordie gave me the greatest advice of all. Don't work on one thing, work on everything. Whether it was my backhand, whether it was passing, target shooting, stick handling, I did all that. But I think the biggest thing for me was I knew that strength and power was never going to be my forte. I knew that I wasn't going to go through people, that I had to be at a different level as far as cardio goes. And so I spent a lot of time running, a lot of time bike riding. I made sure that I never was going to get tired on a shift. I knew that was going to be my bread and butter. So if there was one thing that I really concentrated on I would say, was my cardio. I really wanted to make sure that if I ever sat down for 10 seconds, I was rested and ready to go again. And I think that helped me throughout my whole career.
Hey, let's talk about the new Bud Light Seltzer.
Oh, yeah.
It's an easy-drinking, hard seltzer that comes in 4 delicious fruit flavors. Black cherry, strawberry, lemon lime, and Cam's favorite, mango.
Oh,
With
mango.
only 100 calories, 5% alcohol, and less than a gram of sugar, you might as well have a few tonight or this weekend. Go to BudLight.com to buy Bud Light Seltzer online. Must be 21 years of age or older. Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good.
Yeah.
Now, back to the interview. Was it ever hard with dealing with the fame, Wayne, even at a young age, and then as you continue to go through hockey and all of a sudden, now you're a professional and you're getting so much attention. Did you embrace the attention? Did you love getting the attention, or was it too much and you weren't always comfortable with it?
No, I was never uncomfortable with it. I think part of it was because I got so much attention at 10, 11, 12, 13. I remember playing the Quebec PB tournament and 15,000 people at the game and having to do a media press conference after a game. And so by the time I got to pro hockey, I was used to it. And then I lived in the perfect city, Edmonton. They treated me like their own son. Nobody really ever bothered me. Sure, kids want to get an autograph or take a picture, but that's part of it. I used to hang around Gordie Howe, and I used to be amazed at how polite he was and how easy he was when people came up to talk to him and ask for something. And I just felt like, you know what? Gordie's the most famous hockey player ever, and if he can handle it, we can all handle it. And I just kind of cameeled off of Gordie and learned so much from him. And it never bothered me. I never ever sat down and said, oh gosh, this is no fun, or I'm not enjoying this. Now, would I go to a mall on a Saturday afternoon in Edmonton? Probably not. But, but all in all, the people there treated me tremendously. So I never worried about it. They treated me like their own son.
Do you think your experience you had is similar to the way Michael Jordan lived, or Tiger Woods, and some of these guys who have reached such a level of fame and stardom, much like you did, although, I guess they're international too, just like you were. But do you relate to those guys? Do you talk about it when you play golf with Michael and Tiger? You get together with those guys. Do you feel like you have more relatability to them than most people?
Well, listen, I've said this to many people. To me, Michael Jordan was the greatest athlete ever. And he's on a whole different level as far as everything goes, from, what he accomplished and the fame that he has. I find him to be extremely nice. I've known him since 1984, and he's a really down to earth guy that just happens to be the greatest athlete ever. But no, I don't think it's something you sit around and talk about. It's just part of what we go through, and it's an understanding that you have. That's part of your life, and if you're going to excel at your sport, along with that comes other things, and that's okay. Like I said, gosh, I came from a little town in Brantford, four boys in one bedroom. I got to play in the NHL, got to play against and with some of the greatest players and athletes ever. I never thought I would see Vancouver, Canada, let alone Beijing, China, or Moscow, Russia.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've loved every minute of it. I've never one time said, gosh, this is tough. My dad worked 8 to 5 at Bell Telephone for 35 years and never missed a day's work, And so for me, I just always look in the mirror and say, gosh, I'm so lucky and I'm so privileged to be able to do some of the things I've been able to do and meet some of the people that I've been able to meet. My goodness, I came from a little town in Brantford and I got to meet Pope John Paul, my wife and I, and it was pretty overwhelming. And it's all because of the game of hockey.
I know. It's amazing.
He
it's
must
amazing.
have blessed you.
Yeah. Well, somebody blessed you. I mean, at some point.
At an early age, the other Pope did.
But, all your kids, though, Wayne, like they're all, like, doing great and many, excelling in different sports, whether it's tennis or baseball, whatever direction they've gone in. How did you interact with them at a young age, though, in terms of dealing with the pressure, having the same last name?
Yeah, what do you say to them?
And especially when they're trying to play hockey and maybe growing up playing youth hockey and stuff like that. Did you have to talk to them about that? And were you concerned about that at all?
Yeah. Well, 3 boys. One played hockey, and I was nervous for him because, and I've said this to a lot of people, it's hard to make the Hockey Hall of Fame. But what Brett Hull and Mark Howe did, being the sons of 2 of the greatest hockey players ever, and having the careers that they had, I know firsthand the pressure that my boy was under playing hockey. And so I always say, I don't think people realize what Brett and what Mark did, how special it was. Pretty unique. And yeah, I worried for my son. He got to a point where he said, Dad, I just want to play for fun, which was fine by me. I didn't see the same sort of pressure my other boys went through. My son playing baseball and football, and my other son playing golf. The pressure wasn't the same as sort of going to a hockey rink and seeing a young man out there at his dad's Wayne Gretzky. So, but you know what? At the end of the day, the greatest compliment you can get in life is when people say, I met your son or I met your daughter, and they're so polite and they're well-mannered. And that doesn't come from the father. That comes from the mother. And my kids are great kids. And, we're so blessed. We got a wonderful family and now 2 grand boys. And my son just got married this year. And, it's exciting. We're in a second phase of our life, Janet and I, where I was the athlete and now I'm the watcher. We get nervous watching Dustin play. Although I will tell you, it was a phenomenal week at Augusta because Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday practice rounds, it's kind of quiet, and there's not a lot of stress. And then once the tournament starts, it's like getting into the Stanley Cup Finals. There's a feeling or a mood in the air in the house. But we're lucky he led from first day all the way through to Saturday night and then Sunday morning breakfast and then, of course, winning Sunday. So we had a really sort of relaxing, stressful week. So I never thought when I retired that I'd ever feel the pressure or the stress that I felt as a player, because when you're a player, you don't think about it. You kind of do it, but you see the people around you, your wife, your mom, your dad, people who can't get out there and help you. So they're the people who get nervous. And that's the way we find ourselves now watching Dustin. We get nervous for him. You want him to excel. You want him to do well. And, it's exciting. I never thought I'd have this feeling after retiring from hockey.
So how close are you guys? So even if he's not playing or whatever, do you call him like, hey, did you see the stock? Or hey, you want to do this? Like, how close are you guys, you and Dustin?
Well, we have a really nice relationship. We're best of friends. He's a wonderful guy. I think that the thing about Dustin, we're learning how great of an athlete he really is right now. And I told him the other night that the 4 greatest athletes in the world right now, to me, and it's only my opinion, and everybody has an opinion, but to me, Patrick Mahomes, Stephen Curry, LeBron, and Dustin. And I said, Dustin, you're the number 1 golfer, but to me, you're the top 4 greatest athletes in the world right now. And other than that, we don't talk golf. We talk about the Grand Boys. We went fishing the other day. He knows I don't like to fish, but he got me out there for 6 hours and actually had a pretty good time. And I said to him, it was one of those things my dad always tried to get me to do as a kid, and I hated it. I said, well, we got one thing in common. We fished for 6 hours and we caught 1 fish, same as when I used to hang with my dad.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what? People have this theory or thinking that we talk a lot about, golf and sports, but we very rarely do. We mostly talk about the kids and family, and right now we're all deciding where we're going to spend Christmas and how exciting Christmas is for the boys. There's 3 and 5, and it's our Santa Claus hasn't stopped at our house. It just kept going.
Can he stop by my house too, Wayne? It's going to be an imaginary Christmas at the Jansen household. No, I'm just joking with you. But I do want to know, so when you do want to go on a vacation, I know you're down in the Bahamas or you're in Florida and you got places here and there, but as far as worldwide scale, if you and Janet wanted to go somewhere nice, not see anybody, do your thing, where's your go-to? Is it Italy? Is it, what's your go-to?
We wish we could go to Italy. We wish we could go to Spain. But as you know, neither one of us are the best flyers that ever were put on this earth.
Oh, really?
So we live vicaciously through Paulina and Dustin when he's playing in Europe or if he's playing in Dubai or if he's going to Asia. We have traveled a little bit, but I would say we love Coeur d'Alene, Idaho in the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
It's a spectacular place. It's only an hour and a half flight from LA, and we spend 3 months there, and it's really wonderful. We spend April, May, September, October in St. Louis, and we love it there. We kind of like to be at home. That's kind of our vacation. Over the years, I would say that if there's one place we'd go for a week that we just truly loved, it'd be Paradise Island in the Bahamas. We've always had a wonderful time down there. Merv Griffin, who originally brought Janet to Hollywood to do a show called Dance Fever that he owned, he was the one that introduced us to his island. At that time, he owned the island. And we've been going there forever. It's I would say that's our go-to if we were going to go away for a week.
Why don't you like flying? I hate it too, Wayne. I think we're more similar than you think, Wayne. Why don't you like it? Go ahead.
I told you earlier I hate rides. You can't ever embarrass me to get on a roller coaster or a Ferris wheel. People have tried. It's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
I've never had a speeding ticket. I don't drive fast. I usually drive a truck. I'm a slow driver. My kids call me a grandpa driver. And I don't like heights. So if you don't like speed and heights, the airplane thing just doesn't seem to come together.
I get it.
Time to talk about our boy Dan Bellman. Ooh. Bellman.com. That's with 2 N's, not one. BEHLMANN.com. Hey, check out the new inventory. Check out the pre-owned vehicles. You looking for a Chrysler, a Dodge, a Jeep, or Ram? How about a Cadillac or a Buick GMC? All in Troy, Missouri. Get your new wheels in time for the winter. Now back to the interview. When's the last time you flew commercial, Wayne? Will you take a commercial flight?
Oh, boy.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Really?
Listen, as a matter of fact, I'm sometimes way more comfortable on commercial flights, Air Canada or American Airlines. Or I'm very comfortable that way. back in the day in the 80s, when I played in Edmonton, I used to sit in the cockpit with the pilots every flight. I would get on the plane, and the stewardess would say, hey, the pilot said you can sit with them. Now, of course, you can't do that anymore. But I spent about 8 years in the cockpit. I know more about airplanes than probably some of the pilots. I just don't like it.
Oh, my God. But I'm with you, though. On a commercial flight, though, sometimes you'll feel more safe.
Really?
Well, yeah, because you feel like maybe they've checked everything twice.
What, on a private jet, they're not going to check that? Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
I don't know, Wayne.
It gets a little
You're not going to fly private anymore, I'll tell you that.
But I want to get into a little bit of hockey, though, with you. And listen, some people, they ask these questions all the time, and you may have, already been asked about this, but, we had Kerry Fraser on, and, the playoff series against Toronto, and all this talk about the high stick on Dougie Gilmour. Like, were you expecting to get called? Was that a missed call, in your opinion, Wayne? Like, what were you thinking on the ice at the time?
Oh, honestly, I tell you what Gordie Howe said. Hey, that's hockey. It wasn't me. It wasn't my call. I've said this. Kirky Muller and I are very close friends, and Dougie and I are friends. And I said this: the first game in the Stanley Cup playoffs that year, I lost the face-off, and I won a face-off, believe it or not, against Joel Otto. And I turned, and he cross-checked me in the ribs, and he broke my rib.
Ooh.
And I spent every single game that year in the playoffs. After the warm-up, they would freeze my leg. And every time I'd say to the doctor, make sure it's going up to my rib and not down to my foot, because if it goes down to my foot, I can't skate. And I played the whole playoffs with a broken rib. And I said, I didn't say anything about him getting a penalty. That's hockey. It happens. It was a missed call. He broke my rib. He should have got 5 minutes. And I played the whole playoffs with a broken rib and a frozen one side. And let me tell you, after games, I'd be in so much pain sometimes that it was merciless. And so I look at it like, you know what? Yeah, was it a missed call? Probably. But that's hockey. That's sports, right? Like, what are you going to do? You can't go back in time.
No, it's the perfect answer, too, because it is hockey. And
Kerry was awesome about that, too.
Oh, yeah, he was. He when he came on with us.
Yeah.
No, we see missed calls all the time, so it is what it is. You said that was the greatest game you ever played? Like, you still think that?
Not even close. Toronto was a better team than we were. We had a really good coach, as did they. I gave Pat Burns his first job. I owned the Hull Olympics, and I hired Pat Burns. And him and I were very close friends. And depth-wise, and Dougie Gilmour was probably playing the greatest hockey he ever played.
Oh, yeah.
And my wife always tells people this: the closest player I ever saw to my husband was Doug Gilmour. She loved Doug Gilmour.
Wow.
And we did. We played a lot alike. But Barry did such a great job. We had 2 kids. I'll never forget Cap Rader, assistant coach. We had Alex Zitnik, who was 21, and Daryl Sador, who was 20.
Oh, yeah.
And we were in a meeting one day, and he says, I got the 2 Utes coming. And I remember I turned to him, I said, who are the 2 Utes? He goes, the movie, My Cousin Vinny, the 2 Utes. I haven't had time to see a movie, Cap. We're in the playoffs. So we had the 2 kids, and Rob Blake, who was playing just tremendous, and Marty McSorley, probably the greatest hockey he ever played. Him and Wendell Clark had a fight. It was one of the all-time professional fights. Mm-hmm. They just went at each other. And I'll never forget, they both tapped each other on the butt after the fight. And I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, that's a whole different world for me. But Wendell was playing really well. Potvin was excellent. But we hung together. We had a line of Corey Millen, Tony Granato, and Mike Donnelly. And not one of them was over 5'9". And those 3 guys could all fly. And they got the winning goal in that game to make it 4-3, or at that point to make it 4-3. And as a team, our guys that pitched in, Mark Hardy and Tim Waters, we had Patty Conacher and Charlie Huddy, who to me was one of my favorite teammates ever. Everybody just played at a high level. Um, Montreal was a better team in the finals, but I always said that I had some good games in Edmonton, but Game 7 in Toronto, in front of not only Toronto but all of Canada. I hadn't played great in Game 4 and Game 5 and Game 6. I was just okay. So I needed something to redeem myself, and I always thought Game 7 in Toronto was the best game I ever played.
Well, you had some good ones. Now, okay, so let me go back to you're playing in Edmonton and you're winning all these cups. And all the fans start coming on the ice all the damn time, Wayne. You're probably like, oh, cool, yay, okay, yeah. Keep touchy-feely with me, like, oh, this is fun. You want to, of course, entertain the fans. But then eventually you're like, no, wait. Can we not have these damn fans come on the ice, and can we celebrate the cup? Like, you started that tradition, holding it up, taking pictures, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I was so excited in Boston. One of my best friends in life was Ace Bailey, who was our head scout.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, he was killed in 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And we had organized a big party for all the guys and families after Game 4, of all places. I think the bar was called Three Cheers, actually. And all of a sudden, the lights went out, and nobody knew what the heck was going on. It was the craziest thing. We're all like, okay, now what? Craig Simpson had tied it 3-3 with about 9 minutes left in the second period. And I remember Ace saying to me, that red light came on and it just took all the light out of the whole arena. So we went back to Edmonton, which was crazy because we were playing game, I guess, 5 in Edmonton. We would have ultimately, if the series would have kept going, and I don't know if people know this, we would have played game 8 in Boston, which is crazy. So when we got back to Edmonton, we kind of knew we were in a good spot, and we never got overconfident, especially in the finals, because anything's possible. But we knew we were in a really unique spot. And I remember Ray Whitney, who's one of my good friends, he was our stick boy, and he used to do all my sticks, which is an amazing story because he got over 1,200 points and won a Stanley Cup.
Oh, my God.
But he did all my sticks my whole career in Edmonton. And he was like a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid. But his dad was a police officer. And I remember walking in the arena, and I grabbed him, and I said, Floyd, please get all these policemen and security. When we win the cup tonight, I want to really let all the fans enjoy it and skate around and have the cup. And so over the years, Kevin Lowe and myself and Mess and Koff, we used to hand pictures of the Stanley Cup champion team picture. We put them in the locker room, and this is before we ever won a cup. And we just always kind of have it there and say, hey, this is what we're playing for. And usually it was a Montreal Canadiens or Maple Leaf or a Philadelphia Flyer picture. And so we did win, and it kept everybody off the ice. And I remember thinking, wow, we got to do that picture that they used to do in the 50s. That would be really cool. So we ended up doing that picture, which still today is a great tradition. Differently in a sense that now they get the cup and one guy gets it and he passes it. Back then, we got the cup. We just kind of all as a team sort of circled the rink, and then every now and then one guy would take it for a bit. So the celebration has changed a little bit, but it's still the Stanley Cup, and it's still the greatest trophy in the world.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. And, St. Louis got to experience that last year and everything. So, I mean, it was truly unbelievable. What about when you came to St. Louis, though? I mean, why didn't you stay, Wayne? Like, the real story, like, well, why didn't you end up staying here with the Blues? Why couldn't it work out?
I don't know. I'm not sure. It's just the weirdest thing. It just, I always tease that I was the only athlete ever to go to New York to play sports for less money than he got offered in another city. My wife always says, well, that wasn't very smart. But,
especially the cost of living in New York. It's a little higher than St. Louis, too.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It was a combination of a lot of things. And I tell people all the time, Mike Keenan and I today, I talked to him 2 days ago. We're best of friends. It just sometimes in business and sports, it doesn't go the way people think or want. And I don't honestly have a definitive answer. And I'm not trying to be elusive. I don't sometimes have a real definitive answer why I got traded at Edmonton. So it's sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people stop me all the time in St. Louis, and I'm there a lot, and I love the city. And my favorite place to go is Schnucks, so I can shop and get a roasted chicken. And I know everybody in there. I love it. And I just enjoy the city. One of my favorite things to do is go down to Cardinal games. And, I root for St. Louis. I'm so happy for Mr. Stillman and the Blues. They won a cup. I think it's great for hockey. Their minor hockey youth program's been one of the best programs the last 15 years in the entire country. And for that matter, maybe even all North America. But I go back there now all the time. I love it. And as you guys know, it's a wonderful place.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. I mean, I've
Still go downtown.
I've coached games in the past, youth hockey games, and there you are sitting in the stands, Wayne. You just come to the rink and hang out. You're watching kids, and maybe a kid of a friend of yours or whatever. But we've had other teammates of yours back when you played with the Blues. And listen, everyone has their theories or reasons why it didn't last here, Wayne. And a lot of people point the finger at Mike. And we've had Mike Keenan on the podcast as well. So. Obviously you wish that it would have worked out and, a little bit differently. But, he was the coach. And then all of a sudden, years later, you find yourself as the coach in Arizona. Like, did you enjoy coaching? Is that something you're glad you did, or you kind of wish you never really would have dove into that area?
So I was saying this the other day. It's a really unique thing, like what Yzerman did, playing in one organization. And that's special. And he should hold on to that because it's really cool. In a lot of ways, I'm glad I got to play on 4 different teams. I learned a lot from different organizations. I got to live in different cities, which were wonderful. I loved my last 3 years in Manhattan. I wouldn't trade it for anything. When I coached, I knew I was coaching a team that wasn't good enough to win a Stanley Cup. But I wanted to coach young guys and help them become professionals, not only on the ice, but off the ice. And for that, I was so lucky. I had a couple of veteran players that I just thought the world of, Eddie Jovanovski and Curtis Joseph. Oh, yeah. And, I leaned on those guys heavily. Would I coach again? No. I'm not Scotty Bowman by any means. But I do tease my kids when they talk about coaching. I said, well, if I could have coached the Oilers in the 80s, I might be in the Hall of Fame as a coach. Simple as that. But I loved it. And coaching's hard. Sean Payton, who coaches the New Orleans Saints, is my next door neighbor in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And he's the nicest person I've ever met. And I've met a lot of people, and he's right up there. And I often sit there and wonder, can a really, really nice guy be a great coach? And he's proven that to be true. And so for that, those are things I love. And that's what I love about sports, is that you meet different people and you learn different things and you see different things. And that's what makes our living in North America so wonderful, all the people and the sports you get to watch.
Yeah. Andy Strickland and Cam Jansen here for you for GadgetBuyback.com. Yeah. Gadget Lab, they got a store here locally if you're in St. Louis, 5541 Telegraph Road. Here's the deal. You got an old phone, maybe a cracked tablet. Maybe it's perfect, but it's a little bit older. Turn it in right now. www.GadgetBuyback.com. Upgrade your devices, phones, computers, watches.
Anything.
Doesn't have to be Apple either.
No.
Get those tablets turned in. Again, www.gadgetbuyback.com, 877-772-8880. Now back to the interview.
Yeah.
I think if you would have coached your team in the Oilers back in the 80s, Wayne, you'd be in the Hall of Fame as a Hall of Fame coach.
Hey, Wayne, can you come
right
coach the Blues alumni when we skate 3 times a week, please?
Well, I was
with
funny
Bobby Plager.
Telling Paul Coffey the other day, and I said, I would have benched you real quick.
There you go. Hey, a couple more questions, then we're going to let you go, man. We appreciate your time. 1998 Olympics. I got to ask you about this. The shootout comes. Mark Crawford doesn't tap you on the shoulder. You don't participate in the shootout. Brendan Shanahan takes the fifth shootout, or the fifth attempt, against Dominik Hasek, and the Czechs move on. You guys lose. You were the last one to get off the bench. I went and watched the video again today. What were you thinking when you lost, Wayne, and you saw the other team on the other side of the rink celebrating, Canada rejected, it's your guys' game, and you don't even get to participate in the shootout? How do you look back on that?
Well, let me say this first of all, okay? We went to the Winter Olympics that year, and there was a lot of chatter from not only media, but some of the athletes, some of the fans. How are these hockey players going to fit in? And, the hockey guys were professional. So, like curlers and downhill skiers, the income that they had was obviously different. We chartered a plane and went over there, and so there was this sense of, these guys feel like they're entitled. Well, when we got there and we were in the Olympic Village, it was like being in a Pee-wee hockey tournament. We rallied every athlete that was in there, the women's hockey team, the curling team. The hockey guys were really sensational as far as really bringing not just the hockey team together, but all of Team Canada and all their sports. We started off the tournament. We had a phenomenal start, which was everyone was just raving about how well Canada was playing. I think we gave up 2 goals in 4 games. We looked invincible. The exact opposite happened in 2002 in Salt Lake City, where we stumbled out of the blocks. So everything was going smoothly, and all of a sudden we're in this 1-1 hockey game. Now, I've told this story a couple of times, and it's really kind of been under the radar, but the reality was we were caught off guard. I don't think anybody knew, and I mean this sincerely, that it was a 10-minute overtime and then a shootout. Because I know I sat beside Stevie Yzerman, and when the whistle blew, I turned to Stevie and I said, now what happens? And we honestly really didn't know. Now, I think we outshot them 32-14 that game. So it wasn't like we played poorly. We'd had a really good tournament. Everyone had played well. We were in a good spot. And I'm being sincere when I say this. I'm not sure Team Canada knew that we were going into a shootout. And the Czechs, for the last 8 minutes of the overtime, were playing for a shootout. And so I don't blame anyone. I don't think it's anyone's fault. I just think there was an honest overlook and mistake that we weren't ready for a shootout. And I really believe that. Now, somebody above me might tell me that I'm wrong, but that's the way I look at it, in the sense that it was an honest mistake, in the sense that we weren't prepared. Now, I'm not saying it's a mistake because I didn't shoot. Mm-hmm. I just don't think we were ready for the shootout. Consequently, we got beat. But I was so proud to be part of 02 and we redeemed ourselves. And that made it exciting. That made it fun.
Yeah. Did Mark Crawford, did he ever apologize to you? Did he ever say, Wayne, I should have used you?
No, and I don't think he needs to. Mark Crawford was the head coach, but you guys know this really well now. There's like 8 people now. You have a video coach, assistant coach, power play coach, GM, assistant GM, a scout. So I think everyone was kind of involved in picking the 5 guys. It's easy to point the finger at the head coach, but I think everyone involved was part of it. And listen, I'm not saying if I would have took the shot, I would have scored. But it's I guess it's good barroom talk, right? We can sit around and talk about it forever.
Yeah.
And the good news is I didn't miss.
That's exactly right. Hey, listen, I had you scoring there, man. Just so you know, I didn't
miss my shootouts either, Wayne.
I had you scoring. Hey, is there a record?
But I will tell you this.
Yeah.
I remember sitting beside Stevie going, oh my gosh, because I follow all these stats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Sakic always did good against Hasek in the All-Star games and the showdown or the 3-shot thing or whatever. And I said, Stevie, this is not good. Joe's sitting up there. This is not good.
Yeah, because
I got a little nervous when that made me more nervous than anything.
yeah, because he was hurt. Hey, is there a record that you have, Wayne, of all your records? Is there one that you're most proud of?
Yeah, it's easy. My dad always told me, every record's made to be broken. And he said, you better be as classy as Gordie Howe. You stand there. I go, of course. I would never, because I think it's good for hockey. And I always pull for Alex to break my record. I always text him. I call him. I think it's wonderful for the game that when things like that happen. But to me, my favorite record by far is 50 goals in 39 games, because 50 goals in 38 games is the one thing that I think is going to be really hard for somebody to do. So to me, 50 and 39 is my favorite record.
Not 92? You don't think that's going to be broken?
I was mad about that because I had 50 and 40 and I only finished with 92, and I'm so mad that I didn't get to 100. I always go, gosh, what did I do?
Do you think that's going to – but you think the 50 and 39 will be broken or won't be broken before the 92 and 82? 92 a year?
Yeah, I think somebody has a chance to get to 92. I think somebody has a chance to get to 82. But I think it's going to be 50 and 38 is going to be the toughest one.
Okay.
Hey.
And you know what's funny? And Cam, one of my best friends in Edmonton, never played hockey. He grew up, his father was Speaker of the House, Jimmy Jerome, and never skated, doesn't know anything about hockey. And he asked me one day, he goes, how many games of the 39 did you go without a goal? And I said, I don't know. I have no idea. And I said, 3, 4, 5. And he said, no, 11. So I actually got 50 and 28. So I'm going to go with that.
We're writing that down.
50 and 28. Hey, you mentioned your dad. How's your dad doing? You know, like does he have hobbies that he does, you know, on a daily basis? How's his health?
Can he clean and cook and dig a ditch?
And fix a doorknob?
You know, up until COVID hit, he was pretty active, he was good. COVID's obviously, he's dealing with Parkinson's a little bit, so we got to be careful with him. Yeah. But all in all, my sister lives there with him. My brothers take care of him. My nephews, my sister's boys are always there with him. So he's doing well. I think like all of us right now, golf is one of the sports you can watch on TV. So he's loving watching Dustin play, and that kind of excites him every weekend. But he's doing okay. I say this sincerely. I don't know if there's a hockey player I've met in the NHL that hasn't said to me, when I was a kid, I played in your dad's tournament. I went through your basement with your dad. Oh. And he's just a special man. He's a great person. If the whole world could be like him, we would have no wars, and everyone would be happy and safe.
Yep. And they'd be all great hockey players.
Does he still live in the original house, like where you grew up?
He lives in the house I grew up in. He said he'd never move. In '83, I bought him 3 acres of land to build him a house. And he looked at me and he said, "You're a complete idiot. I'm never moving." I sold the piece of property.
Oh, man.
He said, but you can put a swimming pool in my backyard. Your mother wants one. So I put a swimming pool in the backyard.
I love it.
Wayne,
thank you so much.
You're the best.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much for everything. Appreciate it.
For you guys, anything. You guys take care. All right,
thank
man.
you.
Okay, Wayne. Appreciate
Happy
it.
holidays.
Happy
right
holidays
on you too,
to
buddy.
you.
Right on.
That was episode number 99.
Who was that again?
The great one. What was your nickname?
The bad one?
You probably didn't have one. Oh, the bad one.
Yeah,
I like that.
The small penis one. And I'm like, I don't like that either.
You just missed playing against Wayne.
Yeah.
By like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. I played against Mario.
Did you?
Yeah. In 2005, man.
You get matched up against him?
Accidentally. And then I remember one.
Were you really on the ice with him?
Yeah. I remember one. Well, I don't remember, to be honest with you. But I know he played in 05, so I'm going to act like I did play against him. But I do remember playing against Sidney Crosby a bunch when I was young. And when he was psycho, Sidney was so psycho with the refs. And he was so, like, fucking bitchy all game. And I remember riding him out in a hit, and I fucking hit him against the glass so hard, and I kind of got my elbow up like, fuck you. I skate back down the other end, and he takes his stick and cross-checks me in the back of the head as hard as he can.
Crosby.
And there's a picture of me in the paper getting cross-checked by Sidney Crosby. And I remember it blew up, and I turn around, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and I go, I'm going to fucking kill you. And then I look at him like, I don't know if I should do this. I sat back, Andy, after getting crossed. No one even looks at me. After getting, unless they're heavy. And I get cross-checked by Sidney Crosby, who's 18 years old. And I turn around and go, oh, I'm going to kill him. If it was anybody else, I would have grabbed him, but I didn't do anything. And I said, oh. And he skated away, and I'm like, oh. And he got a penalty. And I'm like, oh. And then we scored on power play.
You think that picture is as famous as like the Bobby Orr flying
of course
photo?
Yeah, I got it in my basement.
Do you have the picture?
Yeah.
Oh, good, because you should have that.
I do.
Has Crosby signed it
My
for you?
parents have everything.
Has Crosby signed? I know you live next door to your parents.
I know.
Has
Not
Crosby
anymore.
signed it for you?
No, but we're going to get him on.
And do you want him to sign it?
Well, fuck yeah.
Okay, well, we got
No, I want fucking Alexander Ovechkin to sign it. Or I want you to sign it. Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm glad you had that moment
Look,
with
Andy
Crosby.
cross-checked me.
You'll
Yay.
always have that story to tell your cats.
Yeah, it's
and
probably fake,
dogs.
but whatever. No, he did cross-check. It's actually in my my parents' basement.
What about Mario? Did you?
I don't remember. I'm not going to lie to
toe
you.
drag him or anything like
Yeah,
that?
I toe dragged him. It's in the paper, too. It's in my parents' basement.
Did you ever? Were you ever in awe of anybody on the ice? Like you talked to some of these young kids the first time they're
Andy,
on the
can I
ice with Patty Kane, Ovechkin, whatever. Because I know you collected hockey cards.
Andy, can I explain it? My first awe was against Eric Lindros in 2002 against the Flyers. And I played that whole game. My dad was in town. I was 18 years old, and I get called up. And I started the game against Eric Lindros. And I fought Jim Vandermeer, and he kicked my ass. There's a big brawl that happened, and Pat
You were
Burns.
18 when you played in the NHL?
18, preseason game. And
No, Lindros said he wasn't on that team.
You fucking idiot. I'm setting this story up to make fun of myself, and you fucked it up.
Well, okay.
Are you out of your fucking
Well, you
mind?
already did this.
No,
a few weeks back.
I was going to be funny, and you fucked it up.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish the
No,
story.
you're fucked up now.
Well, I was like, is he really
God
doing
damn
this
it,
again?
I gave you the sign, too, to say, let me talk.
I'm thinking.
You fucked it up.
No, I'm thinking, wow, he made this
This is
mistake
Wayne Gretzky's.
before. This is how messed up
No.
his memory is.
No, I gave you the sign.
He's living it
I
again.
am fucked up. I know. I do have brain damage. But the point is...
No, you don't.
Okay.
You think you do?
Self-induced, yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Self-induced, for sure. God, what am I talking about now? Oh, anyway, I'm going to set up again. It was 18 years old. My parents are broke. My dad flew in the day of the game. We go to fucking the Spectrum, Cavia, the Spectrum or whatever it's called. And I remember starting that game, Pat Burns, and I see all these guys, and I'm like, holy fuck, I'm so nervous. I fight Jim Vandermeer. All this stuff happens. It's a big brawl that happened. Pat Burns grabs my stick on the ice and spear chucks it at Don Brashear, who was beating the shit out of Grant Marshall at the time. And that moment, I'm like, wow, I played against Eric Lindros. And then 20 years later, I interview Eric Lindros, and he tells me I'm a fucking idiot because that wasn't him, and it was Jeremy Roenick.
I know,
So you asked me the question,
I know.
you fucked up everything, and I was going to bring in how much I endured Eric Lindros's presence whenever I played against him, but it was fucking Jeremy Roenick, and I fucked it up, and you fucked this whole thing up. You're the fuck up, not me.
It's embarrassing enough that you told the story once that you want to tell it a second time.
I thought it was good. Fuck. You
now you're breaking your F-bomb record today.
I'm sorry.
Too. You're
I'm
shattering
sorry.
it.
Sorry, it's Gretzky
on
too.
the
I'm
Wayne
sorry.
Gretzky episode.
Sorry.
What stands out to you from what he said during the interview?
Everything that comes out of his mouth is
Perfect.
Okay. You know, we talk to all these guys, man. We got 199 under our belt right now. We talk to Hall of Famers. We talk to people. There's some people that can process information as a question and relay it very succinctly.
Succinctly.
Wayne's one of them.
Yeah, you can.
Another guy's one of those that's slower is Sean Avery. When we interviewed Sean Avery,
Yeah, he's good.
He'd take his time, but everything it processed out of his mouth was like this. I already accepted it, I processed it, and now it's coming out.
Right.
Wayne's the same way, but he's a lot quicker, and it just everything that comes out of his mouth is just perfect, just like him.
Yeah, Ken Hitchcock processes it too.
Oh yeah, but he's a coach, so
He
he's a
does-
coach.
he
He
does-
doesn't have brain damage, right? He doesn't have like
coach speak. Although Wayne's a coach too.
Is he?
He was a coach.
Is he?
In Arizona, yeah. He was
Oh,
a
what?
coach.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know?
I'm joking. You barely asked him about that, by the way, too, pussy.
Well, what do you mean? I asked him about it. I didn't.
You should have followed up.
Well, see, here's the thing, though, about Wayne. That's every time you think
You should have followed up.
maybe something. Well, you can always follow it up, too.
Well, you gave me the one-liner look like I'm next.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you did.
Did I do
Just
that?
like I did to you, and you fucking disobey everything I say to you.
That's not true. But the thing about Wayne is every time you think maybe something got to him or he didn't enjoy something or it was tough being Wayne Gretzky, like just the pressure dealing with it, he handles everything
Oh, my God, dude.
so easily,
He's like my
so
broad.
effortlessly. So when I asked him about the coaching, he was like, no, I'm glad
yeah.
I'll never do it again, but I like
Fuck
coaching.
no.
I'm like, oh, okay. You know?
Did you? Ask Georgie LaRocque. No, but Wayne's, look, for him to come on our podcast, Andy, like, let's be honest here, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
It is. And we're doing good, and we do got to give Mike Caruso another shout out for that, man. We needed Wayne on 99. People are bugging the fuck out of us, and I think if we're at a certain level in the podcast realm of things, to get Wayne on, you're doing pretty good.
And let me just say this: like, there's certain things
We're not the best, but we're doing pretty good.
that he knows if he answers it a certain way, it's going to blow up. It'll create headlines throughout North America, and at this stage of his life, like,
He doesn't want
He
that.
doesn't need that.
Who does?
Why would he want that or need it?
I know.
So if I were to ask him, hey, how come you don't live in Canada, or would you ever live in Canada?
Yeah.
And
Because people are going to give you shit
my
about asking
opinion,
questions, yeah.
my opinion, and I'm not going to sit here and answer for him, but how I think he would answer it if you were like sitting at a bar may be different than how he would answer it publicly. Because again, he doesn't need the headache. He doesn't need all of Canada where he is royalty. And is he the best thing that ever happened to Canada?
Yeah, besides Don Cherry.
Besides Butter Tarts? No, he's bigger than Cherry.
I know, but Don Cherry's a big boy.
Okay, but he's bigger than, used to besides Don Cherry. He's bigger than Cherry.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Okay. Like, he doesn't need the entire country to be like this upheaval.
Okay, so let me
and
explain.
have it be headlines.
Can I explain
Wayne
to
Gretzky
guys-
says he could never live in Canada.
Can I explain to somebody? When we have certain people on, Andy and I will dig at them. I don't give a fuck. Andy doesn't give a fuck. Certainly, Andy doesn't give a fuck about asking questions on big bull. Look what he does for a living. The reason why he's sitting next to me is because he does this shit. But there's certain guys you have to have some really big respect for. Too much respect. And okay, again, we have respect for everybody. But some guys, I'm like, I got to dig into you on this, man. You're coming on the podcast. This is what we're doing. Like, you get it. Like, this guy's just when I go on a podcast with somebody and they're asking me about shit, like, I'll answer anything. But there's certain guys at a different level, and we all rank people in certain ways, and it's the way it is. We can't put Gretzky on a pedestal to ask him something that he's uncomfortable. Because everything that comes out of his fucking mouth is brilliant anyway. Why would we do that?
But he's so professional.
He's not going to give you the answer anyway. That's another thing,
He's
too.
just he's like a professional interviewee.
Well, that's what I mean.
Like, he's like, dude, I've been doing this since I was like 7 years old, 8 years old. So it's like, I know how to answer anything.
It's like fucking Sheldon Sorey.
Ask me whatever you
Sheldon,
want.
how many fucking painkillers you I fucking ate 50 a day and we were doing. Like, that's Sheldon, dude. Although he's very handsome and cool. But Wayne, you can't, you got to be respectful. And we are respectful with everybody, but with this is like.
No, you have to respect, man. He is
It's a little
truly
too much. I know.
On the Mount Rushmore of athletes in any sport of all time.
Sport of all time.
He may
Top
be the
4
greatest athlete ever.
in their sport. I know.
Not just in their sport. He may be the greatest athlete, the most accomplished athlete ever.
Well, everybody says he's a bad everybody says when he grew up, he wasn't quick. He wasn't this. Dude, I saw a video of him
I've seen
racing.
him just separate.
Racing against
just
not
go.
on the ice, on the track against like a couple of boxers.
Oh, really? I remember that. It was like a
It was
ABC
against
special. I remember
Pele.
that, yeah.
Pele, the fucking soccer
Why didn't
player.
you ask him about that?
I don't know.
You just remembered
I
it
just
now.
forgot. It's in my notes. I take my notes.
Was
on
it?
It was. Oh, yeah. Look, right here. It goes. No, here that's Dino Cincerelli. I go to 99 right now. It goes. I go.
The race.
I go fucking race, man. Who'd you beat? Like, you beat everybody.
You know, he could run. He was a great athlete.
He's a fucking athlete, dude. If you look,
Baseball player too.
Look, I'll give you an example, guys. And your kids, your daughters, your everything. If you want to reconcile how your kid, is that the word? I don't give a fuck. If you want to know if your kid's an athlete or not at a young age, Race them.
Reconcile?
I don't know. Forget I said that.
Reconcile is like...
Shut up, Andy. You went to school. I didn't. Here's the point.
Okay.
If your kid's a fast...
Race your kid. At what age do you race your kid?
Every age, homeboy.
Like when?
My dad would always make races up in the front yard.
Oh, I race my kids all the time.
I'm just letting you know. If your kid's able to run fast as a sprinter, just as a... Listen to me.
Every sport, dude.
Every sport he's going to be fine in.
Every sport.
You catch my drift?
Yes.
If you're able to run, you're able to do anything.
Dude, you're so right about that.
I know I am.
Because if you can't run, if you're not fast, and specific to hockey, if you can't skate
anything,
but I'm saying running and everything else. Okay, whether it's soccer,
whether
it's basketball, whether it's football,
thank you,
whether it's baseball,
anything.
If you are slow and you can't run,
well, you better be good at
you better be really good at everything else.
But if you're good at
everything
running,
else,
but if you're, I was so good at sprinting. I was a sprinter. Long distance, no. Wayne talked about long distance running. I got kicked off the football team because I was missing practice going to hockey. I got kicked off.
That same thing happened to me.
Kicked off it? No, it didn't.
No, it did.
They just booted you off because you weren't good. They kicked me off a track because I couldn't make the track meets because of hockey. They kicked me off of everything, wrestling and all that, because you didn't do it. I was a sprinter and track and all that stuff. But the point is, I'm like, I need to do something, get in shape, because I can't do any high school sports because my grades and my
well, that's what it was.
It was my grades, and I was going to AAA hockey, and I had to go to practice. So my fucking Coach Kimball, I'll give you a motherfucking shout out, boy. You're the fucking man, Coach Kimball. You're my cross country coach. It was my brother, and then all of a sudden I got kicked out of all the teams in high school.
But he said you can still.
And he goes, "Come here, Cam. You want to do cross country to get in shape?" I go, "Fuck yeah, I'll do it." I was so pathetic, but I was the biggest guy of anybody, and I would not win races. I'd be last or like in the bottom bunch, but I'd finish the races just to be a man.
That's all that matters.
Just to be a fucking man.
You get a ribbon for that.
Fuck you. I did 3.5 miles, and I was dying, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm a hockey player, but I did it to stay in shape.
Hey, you never know, man.
I know, it was embarrassing.
Well, hockey players need to be able to do that. You hear about
I'm just saying,
John Tortorella's training camp and stuff like that?
I'm just letting you know.
Remember the dry land back in the day?
I'm just letting you know.
In addition to doing like hills and stuff like that, a lot of it was long distance running.
Exactly. And Wayne just said my cardio. So that's why I'm saying this. My cardio helped. Maybe it helped my fighting. Maybe I made $1 million extra dollars because I did this because my fighting was good.
Okay,
I don't know.
The sign of a generational athlete is that when they're out there doing the same thing everybody else is doing,
they're better.
They just look different.
They look different.
They look different. Mario looked different. Wayne looked different than everybody else. Nowadays, you see the way the game is played and how players hang on to the puck and their quick cutbacks and their quick change of direction. That's really, you have to, I tell kids that all the time. They got to be able to do that. They got to be able to have those quick cutbacks and those stops and starts.
Open up. Let's see the ice. Let's see the ice.
Like the way Jaden Schwartz, can separate in some,
totally.
in small areas. You may not
Robert
be
Thomas.
Robert Thomas. He does the tight turns and whatever in the cutbacks.
Get off me.
You may not be the fastest player on the ice, but if you have quickness in small areas, you're going to have an advantage. Wayne, when you go back and watch his highlights from back when he was playing like in the 80s, early 80s, like he did these cutbacks, and these tight turns and these turns. Nobody else was playing like that. Nobody else was hanging on to the puck, at the perimeter areas of the zone and just kind of surveying
or how about
and
this?
whatever.
How about this? How about Wayne cutting through the neutral zone? Doesn't see what he likes.
No, he just hangs on to it.
Listen to me. Goes through the neutral zone, 100 miles an hour. Doesn't see what he likes.
Turns. Come back.
All the way back.
And he's not regrouping with the D, right?
Let me tell you something.
He's just hanging on to it.
As a forward, as a winger, when your centerman comes in and he doesn't dump the puck in, you're like, fuck you. Now I got to get back. I got to regroup. I got to get my edge down. I got to find my rhythm. I got to find where my space is, where I need to go. You're like, get me in there. I need to hit somebody. But when Wayne does it, he'll come down and he'll separate. Like, no, I'm not ready for this. And everybody's like, okay, I get what you're doing. Let's go. Let's build our speed back. Now let's go. Then they go as a 5-man. Then Wayne comes in. And now they're worried about everybody else but Wayne because they think Wayne's going to dish the puck 1,000,000 times. Now he just goes out and does his thing. Like, it's so meticulous in so many ways. And he did that before anybody else did to a certain level. And it's just like if you watch his highlights, you're like, he was such ahead of the game.
All right, so check this out. This was sent to me by somebody on my staff. Sent this to me today. The fastest NHL player to reach 1,000 games, the fastest NHL player to reach 1,000 points.
Yeah,
is Wayne Gretzky. You know how many games he did it in? 424 games.
Yeah.
The second fastest, Wayne Gretzky, who got another 1,000 points in 433 games. So he got his second 1,000 in 433 games, his first 1,000 in 424 games. Like, that's an insane.
800 games, 2,000 points?
857 games.
Dude, it's just,
he had 2,000 points.
You can't.
That
replicate
is one of the most ridiculous, insane stats I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, no,
ever.
And he's so humble, man. It's crazy.
How can you be that much better than everybody else? I don't understand that. I understand how you can be better than others.
Of course, I know you don't understand.
No, I understand what it's like to be, but I don't understand what it's like to be that much better.
Yeah, no, you don't. No, you don't.
And either do you.
No, and no one does besides him. And we asked him, and I don't think he even knows.
I don't think he knows either. He's
know.
like, that's just who I am.
He's like, I'm normal. No, you're not.
And you know what? I love his dad too.
Yeah,
his dad is he's had as much, I mean, in a way, as much influence on the game of hockey as Wayne has, because he's been an ambassador for the game forever.
Totally. Yep. Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's continued to help.
How about Keith Gretzky? Can we talk about Keith Gretzky?
You know, was it the Keith Gretzky or Brent Gretzky? One of the two.
Brent too. Yeah.
Who played in the old UHL when I was broadcasting, played for the Fort Wayne Comets, and I couldn't imagine being his brother, let alone his kids. We talked to Wayne about that. I mean, your kids, the pressure they have to deal with when their last name is
they're playing
Gretzky.
golf,
like,
dude.
what? Yeah. Go play football. Go play baseball. Play tennis.
Fuck football. You're fucking crazy. I want to play football. Nah.
You tried it.
I did it. No,
I was actually decent at football.
No, you weren't. But here's the deal. Football's great for discipline.
Oh,
it's great for energy. It's great for being disciplined.
The coaching you get in football is different than coaching you get in any other sport.
Thank you very much.
And you better have some thick skin.
Exactly.
Because how they would talk to you and treat you as a young kid.
You're a motherfucking military.
Because I played like youth football growing up too.
I'm sure you did.
And I did, man. Yeah. And the way the coaches would talk to you.
I know.
And then you go play hockey and baseball. It was so different. I felt like it gave you an advantage. Because you learn how to compete differently.
You learn how to be a man.
It's a different level of compete.
It's a team. It's so X's and O's.
But it's swagger. It's all that type of stuff.
It's everything. But those football coaches, man, and they'll bring the city kids out and they'll live with them and they'll do all that. It's just like the good human things that you need to do.
The relationship player and coach.
But I will say this right now, and I know I'm going to piss people off. I didn't like playing the sport of football.
Really?
I didn't.
I loved it.
Even as an inside linebacker, even as a monster squad or a free safety because I was fast and I knew how to kill guys. Even as a fullback, I was like, what do? Oh, go this way and do that. And then stop.
Because you had to know the play. You couldn't remember the plays.
And then Cam, go there and do that and then stop. Where in hockey, I'm like, all right, Cam, you're up. Go do whatever.
See, I
listen to me.
I loved it.
Cam, you're up in hockey. Go do whatever you want.
But it's not.
If you want to fucking
hockey's
fight.
Hockey's changed a little bit too.
But you're in control of where you go in hockey. And
you are.
You are. And if I want to go out there and rock somebody, if I want to go out there and make a play, I'm in control. If I want to go get the puck, I can go get it. In football, it's like we have 2 seconds. You go there and hit a guy, and you're done. That's why the game itself in hockey is so much funner than football.
Although, more fun. Although... You didn't play with any structure. I mean, because you talk to guys. Hockey now has become...
with any structure. I played on fucking Lou Lamoriello's team for 7 years. Andy, shut the fuck up. What the fuck are you talking about? You didn't play any fucking structure, Cam. You act like you just you do freelance and do whatever you want.
You
kind of do, though. We got to go. Don't piss me off. I'm good right now. I'm in a happy mood. Don't piss me off.
You had a good day today.
I had a good day today. I'm good. I got good shit going on. Don't piss me the fuck off.
Structure. You want to freelance.
Hey, I'm Lou Lamoriello. I'm going to get Cam because he has no structure and he doesn't listen to me.
Well, you said you could do whatever you wanted.
I kind of did.
Did you?
I kind of did for 3 minutes a night.
For 3 minutes.
Well, that's 3 minutes better than a fullback.
That's true.
Think about it.
Hey, I would never chirp.
So who's funny? What's more fun? Playing football where you like go.
No, football's fun, dude. Don't chirp it.
It's not that.
It
fun.
is for you. It wasn't like you're probably on the sideline anyway. You probably weren't even playing. But when you're a safety,
Andy was
when you're a safety.
Here's Andy. He's crushing guys. He was captain of the football team, banging all the fucking cheerleaders. Sit the fuck down, homie.
When you're a safety and you just go to the ball,
I would fuck you up.
Oh my god!
You're gonna try to hit me?
Yes.
or when you're a wide receiver and you're making plays.
Who's talking?
Those are
Who's talking right now? Sorry, you got a question for Gretzky?
Well, football.
Other than that, shut the fuck
can't
up.
be that boring. I mean, I don't know why you think it's boring. For you, it was. For you, it was.
Compared to
for
hockey,
a lot of people
you
who
didn't play either one.
Oh.
Are you kidding? I love you, Andy.
Look at you.
Andy and I kill each other. It's healthy. Just so you guys think, like, I love them.
Is it?
Like, fuck. Like, if something happened at like a little tie, like, I'm making phone calls, okay? That doesn't happen for many people, just so you know. Does that make sense?
Mango.
Mango. You hearing that?
Okay.
I don't give a
all right.
fuck. We had Wayne Gretzky on. I'm celebrating.
Episode number 99. Always fun to have the true legends. Even more fun. Not funner. More fun to have the greatest of all time. Greatest of all
great.
time. Dude.
He's funner than everyone.
He's better than everyone.
He's more better. He's more better.
Well,
anyway,
he is.
We got Wayne Gretzky on. Who gives a fuck? Who else gets him on? I'll wait. Go ahead. Hold your breath. I'll wait. Fuck off. Go
Look
ahead.
at you.
I'm just saying.
Stop doing that.
Doing what?
You're just trying to like do that.
Do what?
Yeah, what you're doing there?
What was that?
Like, you're just saying we're better than you. I don't like that.
Well, when you get Wayne Gretzky on, you're probably better than everybody else at that point. Like, let's be honest. Can't I pump my own? Can we pump our own?
Pumping your own tires.
No, well, if I pump my tires up, it includes you too, Dick.
Well, you let others do it. Isn't that the way it goes?
Well, who? My engineer in front of me? No, I want to tell you now. We got Wayne Gretzky on. That's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
Not too many other people could do that. Actually, no one can. So can we pump our own tires up?
Pump it.
Yeah, I just said it.
Pump it. Pump
Don't
it
bring
up.
me down. Don't bring me fucking down, buzzkill motherfucker. Go play football.
Buzzkill.
Go play football. You're fucking.
I'm
a fucking safety. I'm 130 and 5'2", and I'm a safety.
I probably wasn't
Get
even.
the fuck out of here.
I wasn't even 130 back then. Probably.
Was it an all girl school you went to?
No. Parkway. Not.
Was it all girl school? Oh.
Hardcore.
Oh yeah.
Try walking those halls.
Oh fuck! I bet.
You'd be scared.
You're so fucking tough.
No wonder you quit high school in 9th grade.
What, was it an all girl school? What was it again?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. All right, that's weird.
It was mixed.
So you're the only boy? That's cool. Are you a boy? Read the goddamn live reads.
The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield.
Yeah.
And carshield.com. Mention the promo code CAM. I know it's embarrassing. I know you're not comfortable doing it.
Probably get laid. You'll probably get laid.
But you're going to save some money.
And do that too.
So just close your eyes and just mention Cam. I know it's hard.
Close your eyes and think about me.
You're going to save 10%. 800-857-2481. carshield.com. Structure the deal the way that you want it. Customize your package. Long, short, whatever you want, you can do that with CarShield and carshield.com. Save yourself thousands of dollars. Don't get stuck in the mix, and all of a sudden you got to write a check that you know you can't cash.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Then what are you going to do? Pay just a few dollars a month and get yourself the protection that you need. Be smart. Get CarShield. It's really that simple.
Yeah, I've done it.
Bud Light Seltzer. All the flavors, man. They've got the ugly Christmas sweater packs going on right now with the cranberry and the fruit punch and the grapefruit, I should say.
Figure it out.
And the pineapple and the original.
I'll say it. Mango.
The original flavor.
Fucking mango. I'll get it to you.
Original flavors.
Mango.
Black cherry, strawberry, lemon, lime, and mango.
That's what everyone wants to hear.
Mango.
Mango, baby.
We're going to have some Christmas cocktail recipes for you involving mango. That may be a little bit surprising for you, but we'll have that for you. So check it out, Bud Light Seltzer. Again, if you're going to a Christmas party and you want to impress people, it's not the Christmas cookies.
Yeah,
it's not the eggnog.
Unless it's like special ass cookies.
It's not the eggnog, and it's not the...
if you bring me something special, mix in with those cookies, I'm like, fuck yeah, motherfucker. Fuck, you spent some coin. You put a fucking little half bag in that mug. We're getting fucked up tonight.
Okay.
Then I'm like, yay, I like you. But if you give me regular Christmas cookies, I'm like, I'll go to fucking Schnucks.
This is the Gretzky episode. This is the Gretzky episode. You're doing that again. I don't know why you keep doing that on the Gretzky episode.
What did I say again?
I mean,
did I say we're the best at shit? I didn't say anything. I said that. Give me good Christmas cookies and I'll be happy with you.
Okay.
That's a fucking
mistletoe.
Good thing to say.
Okay.
I'll have a makeout sesh with
All
Kate.
right. But
only Kate.
But when you see Bud Light Seltzer, it's like, oh my God.
I'm like, you're a fucking wheel. Like, you're a fucking wheel. Like, if I'm a girl, not a broad, a girl, I said it right. And if I walk into a party, I'm like, this fucking handsome ass guy, even if he's not handsome, and he's got some Bud Light Seltzer, I'm like, oh, you're fucking 6'4", you got long hair, you got scars on your face because you played hockey. Like, you're sexy, although they kind of look like you, Andy, and I still think they're sexy because they have Bud Light Seltzer. That's how much they move the mark. Bud Light Seltzer, mango. They look like you, and then I think that they look like fucking, what's that quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. That's what I look at. They could look like you, but they could be Trevor Lawrence.
Why are you envisioning that?
Because Trevor Lawrence is a
like
handsome
Trevor
bugger. He's kind of goofy looking, but he looks like those guys that, remember back in the 80s when your mom would read those books, and the guy on the front with the sword hanging out with the woman, saving her from the volcano?
Yeah.
That's Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
So I look at you, and I'd be like, God, if you had Bud Light Seltzer, I'm like, you're fucking Trevor Lawrence. You ain't Andy Strick.
But women are like staying late to the party. They're like saying to their husbands, I'm not going home with you. I'm staying here. He's got Bud Light Seltzer.
Yeah, he's Trevor. He's Trevor. That's what we're going to say. Where's Trevor at? Okay. We want Trevor around.
So check that out. Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Yeah, baby. All right, we're keeping it handsome. KeepItHandsome.com. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save 15%. Now get that beard moisturizer. Get all the hair stuff that you need.
Yeah, dude.
Make yourself smell good. Make yourself look good in time for the holidays, man. You may have some photos. You want to look back on those photos. Make sure you're looking good. And again, spread it around. They've got so many different options for you, from gels to sculpting pastes to foaming creams.
I mean, everything.
To beard moisturizer.
To
I
awesome
highly
apparel.
recommend that. And the head balm. I use it on my head every single day,
Yeah.
man.
And
You should use that.
Well,
it won't have you grow hair, Cam. But
I want
should.
growth.
Well,
it's not going to help you with your fucking beard either.
That to
I'm
you.
losing my crown. You have no beard. There we go.
I had a sick beard over the weekend, too.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Where'd it go?
I shaved it this morning.
I bet you that took a long time.
And I used the beard moisturizer after I shaved, too. It's like an aftershave. It's like a combo.
Fuck. When you grow a beard like you have to have beard moisturizer.
I know. You have to have that. Fight Ugly. Listen, they've got great hoodies. Cam wears his every day, like literally every single day. So you can, too, man. No, you can, too.
I know.
KeepItHandsome.com. Get the Fight Ugly hoodie and help support the Montreal Resource Center. Portion of the proceeds from these hoodies go back to the Montreal Resource Center, and we fight the bullies, man. We're fighting the ugly that exists out there. You know, there's lots of it.
Oh my God, big time.
Yes.
And you know what? Like, everybody goes through different bully situations. I keep my DMs open, guys. Cam and Jansen 25 on Twitter. Follow both of us on everything. But I keep everything open, guys. If you want to talk about things. Now, when you text me about bullying in the workplace, I can't help you with that because I don't know what's going on there.
No, but you can listen and find out what's going on.
I do.
Because the bullying in the workplace can sometimes be even worse than the bullying that you see in the schoolyard.
I just don't know what's going on in the workplace. If you tell me about something in the schoolyard, I'm like, okay, I get that. But in the workplace, it's like the boss. Like, I don't know the boss, so it's kind of hard when I have to like.
Yeah, how do you handle that?
They give me like 3-page question, like a thing, and I'm like, I need to talk to you on the phone. So I have these old school guys call me all the time on the phone, talking about their painkiller abuse, all this stuff. Anything you need to talk to me about, I'll do it, guys. But if you send me a big long letter about the workplace stuff, like, I just need to talk to you on the phone. That's it, and we'll discuss it. Andy, you more than anybody know about bullying in the workplace. We all have kind of been through it a little bit, like. Not in the NHL with me, but just a little bit like how you could see
Well, they made you cry on the plane one day. You got bullied. You cried.
I was a fucking dipshit.
You cried.
Look, if you're a dipshit, you need to get bullied. Time out.
You tried to overstep your boundaries at the NHLPA store.
Fucking right.
And you cried.
Oh, my God, I did cry. They tortured me, but I'm a fucking idiot. Like, you can't bully an idiot, okay? Well, no. If somebody's being too loud and stuff and you're telling them to put that's not a bully. They're not bullying me. I was a fucking dumb shit, and I said, settle the fuck down. Like, that's not bullying. Mm-hmm. Being a bully is when you're bigger, stronger than somebody, and you have power, and you belittle somebody that doesn't have any leverage on you. That's what the fuck it is. A woman or a fucking little kid, or you blame everything on somebody.
Or what about when you try to load up other people to try to like
gang up on somebody?
Yeah. You see that?
Fuck you.
That happens in the workplace all
Pussies,
the time.
And karma will get you all, man. I'm just telling you. Mm-hmm. I believe in karma more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
If I was a dick to a girl back in the day, I look at that. I'm like, God, like I did some crazy shit. Like I'm like, karma fucking bit me in the ass. I had to crawl back out of it. I'm like, you learn from that, and you learn from it, and then karma is there. You guys, you treat people like shit, it's gonna get back at you. You're a fucking bully. You're a dick at the workplace, or you're just not a good human. Karma will get you, boy. Just remember that.
Okay.
Just be a good guy. That's it.
Just be a good person.
Not everything happens right, but just be a good person to people. Like, that's it.
All right, we're fighting the ugly. Again, get your hoodie today. And again, the portion of the proceeds go to the Montreal Resource Center.
Yeah.
Mention the promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save 15%. That's a pretty good deal. Do that.
Fuck yeah,
do it
dude.
today.
Awesome stuff.
All right, Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Check them out online. Again, if you have a used car, they want it from you. They want to buy it from you.
Right.
Trade it in. Get yourself set up in a new set of wheels with our good boy, our boy Dan Bellman, who gives you the best customer service you're going to find anywhere in the country. Anywhere. What don't you find there, Cam, with their salespeople?
A swinging dick coming out saying, oh, you Cam's wife. I used to fucking beat Cam. No, you didn't. No, you live with your parents. Sit the fuck down. Wait, what now? Are you creeping my girl out? Like, you guys, when you go to these different car dealerships and the guys come out and there's fucking 10 of them and your wife's like, oh, here we go. And they're like, where are you? Like, that doesn't happen in Bellman, man. They're cordial. You walk in, they'll explain everything to you. If you want to like walk around by yourself, like you could do that.
You can feel comfortable.
You feel comfortable. Your wife can go buy a car by herself. Like, it's a kind of a big deal.
It is.
It is. Like that. That's
all right. They got the Cadillac,
psychos everywhere.
Buick GMC on one side of the street in Troy. Cam's looking at that pearl white Buick Enclave with captain seats, power windows, heated seats.
Power windows?
Yeah.
I hope the fuck so, Andy. What, are we living in the 80s? Jesus Christ.
Well, you can get your Buick Enclave. On the other side, they got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, man. They have something for everybody. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, dude.
Something for everybody.
Of course.
Especially for the winter around the corner, allegedly. I think we're going to have snow eventually. You know that day's going to come.
It will.
The roads get so icy, it gets dangerous, man.
And
Make
people
sure.
in St. Louis suck at driving.
I know,
too,
but
man.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so just make sure you have the right wheels and you're protected, man. You got, important investments in the car with you, your kids or whatever.
I'm your investment. No shit.
You don't go in my car.
I'm not allowed in your car.
No,
especially
no.
with the kids.
Oh, my God. Cam, if he calls me, I tell him, I'm like, my kids are in the car, and he still is like dropping like F-bombs left and right.
I don't cater to kids. Look, if you want me to give him a pump-up speech, I will. If you want me to, you want me around your kids, of course, especially Ty. But when they're in the car with you and I got to talk business,
You're like,
man,
oh,
I can't.
I'm sorry. And then now
Well, fucking take it off speakerphone then. Goddamn. Put your fucking thing in your ear.
Maybe I shouldn't
Why am I
answer it.
talking to you and your family every time I fucking call you? Talk to me. Business. Fucking money and shit talking about. I got shit to talk about. And you're like, I can't talk to you because my kids are about. Well, fucking put your goddamn headphones in.
No, I said I can.
Fuck.
But you just got to like.
Well, no, I don't have to do anything. Why
refrain
do I have to do
for
anything?
5 minutes.
How about you just put your goddamn thing in your ear and not have Ty listen to me? I want Ty to listen to me when I want to talk to Ty. Not when I talk to you.
So that would solve it.
God, yes.
Okay.
Put your goddamn thing in your ear.
We'll try that next time. How about our boy over there at VictorHockey.com?
Yeah, dude.
At VictorHockeyUSA on Instagram and Twitter. We're going to have those hats out very, very soon. And collaborating with Victor Hockey. But check out all the hats that he has, too, man. He's got a bunch of sick hats, hoodies, T-shirts. Got that Colorado vibe. Check it out at Victor Hockey USA on Instagram and Twitter. All right, we just had the greatest of all time, Wayne Gretzky.
Whatever. I guess I can't brag about it because Andy will think I'm doing it again.
He's a great person, too.
He's a great person. Oh, my God.
Is he a better
person? Can I brag about this?
Or are you going
to be like, Cam, you're doing it again? Like, what do you mean I'm doing it again? Saying that we got Wayne Gretzky on, who's a fucking bet, who doesn't do any of these. And can we build our confidence up a little bit with our podcast?
Build it up.
Like, fuck, we got Wayne Gretzky on. And I just, like, pumped it up like no one else gets him.
And
then you're like, why are you doing that again? I go, because I am doing it, motherfucker. Because we deserve it. It's fucking Wayne, dude. Let's go.
Attaboy. All right, and that was episode number 99 already.
I know.
Next is 100.
Oh, we got a good one for 100.
We got a good one for 100 and beyond.
Yeah.
On the Cam and Strick Podcast.